and today I'm here with.
Your boy Sonny, how's it going, guys? Super pumped for today's episode.
How's it going, everybody? So, right now and today, we decided to pretty much dissect the biggest tech companies out there for you guys, and we're showing you guys how to build the front end and even some functionalities too. So, today we are tackling Hulu, and due to popular demand, we're gonna go dive deep into this. We already did Netflix, we did Google, we did Spotify, we did Amazon. Now it's time for Hulu. So Sunny came up with this build. This guy is a genius. So guys, really follow the code if you can. Also put it on your portfolio. We've seen so many results from this. So show us a little bit about, the whole build, Sunny.
Let's do it. So today, as Frankie said, guys, we're building another big tech company. So you can see right here we've got Hulu. So Hulu is Frankie, so Hulu is an American company. So do you want to explain quickly what Hulu is?
Correct. So Hulu is a direct competitor of Netflix. Some people, say they prefer Hulu, some prefer Netflix. They do have their own perks. I feel like even Hulu has a bit of channels and things like that. But ultimately, a lot of them have the same movies being shared, but Hulu has some exclusive shows as well. So that's what makes it cool. You can either choose apples or oranges. Netflix is part of culture pretty much, Netflix and chill. But Hulu is great in its own way as well.
Awesome, nice. So, like you said, like you heard it, guys, we've got an amazing video streaming platform, Hulu. And what we did is we went ahead and built it. So you can see we've got a bunch of tech involved here, guys. We've got the nav bar. So you see we've got a lovely little nav bar over here with some hover over functionality. We've got this nice little animation when you hover over this sort of sub nav bar, let's call it. And even when you're going over the video feed, so you can see everything has this nice dynamic UI to it, right? A really nice look and feel. And the cool thing is this is not static information, guys. So one, this is live, so if you want to go check it out, here is the link to go check it out. And two, if you want to actually go ahead and click one of these, so you can click on action, for example, and you can see this is actually pulling live movie information, guys. So this is
super responsive.
Yeah, super responsive as well. So good point, Frankie. So let's go ahead and resize this right now, and we'll see if we go ahead and chuck it into responsive mode. So let's go ahead and do this. And now you guys can actually go ahead and see it will only use up the space that it can use. So you see this. And even the top bar, whenever we go to this point, for example, it becomes scrollable. So this is super nice, super clean. And we're using Flexbox to go ahead and get this working. So if you guys are excited, let us know in the chat. We can see a few people dropping some positivity now. That's awesome. Love that.
Thank you guys for being here. So Kazi was originally meant to be in this call, but something happened with his little puppy. She broke her little nail and she was bleeding a lot. So they actually had to go to the emergency room. And, that's why I'm here filling up with this. So I'm kind of a very beginner in code. So you guys are going to get, the whole build through some beginner eyes. And Sunny's going to lead it all the way, just like he does with his magic. He's great at teaching. So stay tuned.
Thank you, guys. Also, I saw somebody said that's not the current Hulu build. Yeah, so good point. We actually are using we're using like a rebuild design. So I found a link where they basically were planning a rebuild of Hulu, and we're using the new concept design. So it's actually a very modern design. So it's super interesting stuff. Let's go ahead and have a look. So secluded grace, because you guys are awesome. I'm pumped and ready. That's the kind of energy we want, guys. We can see everyone getting super excited in this chat. This is awesome. And guys, let's drop Frankie a massive let's just drop him a massive praise, because Frankie jumped in last minute clutch, and he just handles it, doesn't panic. He just came in and he's doing this thing. So this is awesome. Oh, look, Beast RWA just joined PWJ course a few hours ago. Nice, dude. Beast. That's awesome.
Bro, hit us up. We'll give you a shout out right now. And then also we'll send you a message. We'll get into and we'll link up with you. So everybody that joins PWP, PWJ, drop it in the comments below. Also, we do have a 1 hour full training of how to become a JavaScript developer. And we show you exactly how to do that. So click the link in the description below, the first link, and it'll take you to that training.
Nice. Kazi's in the chat, guys. There we go. CC, oh yeah, he's in the car waiting in ER because his poor little dog broke their nail and he has to get him to the vet. So, damn it. But guys, yeah, as Frankie mentioned, we have a free training webinar. So make sure you go ahead and check it in the description. And it's going to teach you the top 3 mistakes to avoid when becoming a JavaScript developer. Completely free. Go and check it out. Right, Frankie?
Awesome. Yep. It's
Awesome.
beautiful, guys. If you guys want to take a lot of value, look at that webinar, look at that training, and I'm sure you'll get something out of it. Frank.
Let's go, Frank. Already. Let's go. There he goes. Let's go, Sonny and Frank. Love the Hulu build. Hey, this is amazing, guys. This is
I would
awesome.
just love to have him on the chat. Thank you, Frank, for being part of the community, man. You bring tons of value.
Hey,
So let's hop into it, or what, Sonny?
let's do it. So firstly, guys, you know how we do it. We like to sort of draft things out so we know the tech that we're going to cover today, right? So first thing what we're going to do is just hop over into VS Code. And right now, we're just going to draft out some of the tech that we're covering today. So in order to get the functionality, we're basically going to talk about... So here, we're obviously the app is built in React. So the entire app is built in React. And let me know if you guys can see that. But the entire app is built in React. We are actually going to be using Material UI, right? So Material UI, and that's how we get these beautiful icons over here. So all of these icons that you see are all Material UI, and it's not a stranger to our builds. We use them in pretty much most of the builds, and you guys are going to get another use case here today with Material UI. So let's go ahead and do that. We've got a bunch of Flexbox. So you can see earlier on we showed you guys how it's completely responsive. So as it gets smaller, the build's going to get a lot smaller. That's going to be super exciting to learn. We also have TMDB, guys. So TMDB is essentially, we're going to show you how to make API calls to a movie service. Let's just call it like a movie service. And it's basically like a Netflix style movie service. So you can pull movie data from it. And yeah, so that's going to be super exciting to go ahead and do that. And then we've also got a few more things. Let's go ahead and break it down. We've got, so you guys notice how when I click this, you see there's like an animation right there, right? So there's a really nice animation. That animation, we call that, we actually call that React Flip Move. So I'm going to be showing you guys how we can implement something called React Flip Move for animations. So you get those really nice sort of slick animations, because that's just like the icing on the cake. Once you add that in, everything looks super clean and it starts to look like an actual dynamic app, right? So really, really powerful stuff. And once we've done all of that, we're going to be deploying on Firebase, right? So we're going to be deploying on Firebase hosting. Right, Frankie, do you want to just answer a few questions while I quickly I need to deactivate a sound because I keep getting a little ping right now. Give me one sec. Yep.
Sounds good. By the way, man, Firebase has shown a lot of love to us during these builds. Drop in the comments below if you guys have implemented Firebase in your own builds, because it's made these builds so much more easier for us. And also it's great to show you guys other ways to host your databases other than, actual SQL databases. So it's awesome, man. And like you were mentioning, TMDB, I've seen so many people, whether they're doing, movie lists or builds like the one that we did on Netflix and all of that, they always use TMDB. And it actually reminds me a lot of the library in IMDb. So it's pretty much TMDB is the movie database. IMDb is International Movie Database. So exactly. That's where we're pulling all the data. And also, like Sonny said, we're going to be using Material UI. We're going to be using Flexbox. And I love Material UI. I believe it's a library, right, Sonny?
Yeah, so it's a library. Exactly, and it just gives you like a bunch of components, an icon library, which is really powerful, and we use that in most of the builds. And yeah, so we're going to be using that today.
Awesome. Yeah, I love those icons, by the way. So that's great things about libraries. Sometimes they have great tools for designers/developers, and Material UI is one of them. Let's look at what's going on in the chat right now. So we're receiving a lot of love.
Yeah, we got some positivity today. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah, man. People are loving us more and more by the stream.
Oh, dude, we're about to hit 500 people live right now. Holy crap.
Let's go, people.
Nice.
Thank you so much, CP fam. We love you guys. It's about 500 people right now, 300 likes. So make sure to like that thumbs up button.
Yeah.
And make sure it turns blue. And
exactly.
Yeah, man. If you guys are enjoying the content, drop some love in the comments. So I see right here, Yogesh Sharma says, "Hello, brother. You are doing great work. I love to watch your video. If possible, then make website using MERN." That's actually one of the plans that we have moving forward. I know Sonny has talked a lot about it, and he wants to build a bunch of apps using the MERN stack. Just because I know you guys are, wanting it and you guys are demanding it. So, we're here for you guys, and that's why even today, I decided to jump in here. So things happen in life, man. You never know what's going to happen, but you got to be ready to just, dive in and actually take control of life
Exactly.
at least as much as you can.
Exactly. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight in, guys, and let us know. Whoa, we just got another donation. Hey, check that out. Joshua. Oh, wait. Oh, no, it's got tagged to the wrong thing. There we go. Joshua Thomas, thank you so much for that $5 donation. That's awesome, dude. That's a wicked way to start this build. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, brother.
Nice. So guys, first thing we're going to do is we are going to go ahead, open up our terminal, and we're going to type in, make sure you're in the right place. So yep, we're in a good place here. So we're going to do npx, and if npx doesn't work at this point, guys, you want to go ahead and go over to node and install npx and install node, and then you'll get access to npx, right? So npx create react app, and then we're going to basically call it, in this case, let's just call it Hulu YouTube clone, because I've already got an app called, actually no, in this case just do Hulu Clone. There we go. And that will go ahead and it will basically use the create react app tool built by Facebook to go ahead and basically prepare a starter app for us. So while we're doing that, Frankie, let's actually go ahead and set up our Firebase. So do you want to talk a little bit about what Firebase does, Frankie?
Awesome. Yes, so Firebase is Google's solution for making a NoSQL database, right? And it makes it super simple for beginners actually to host databases, because a lot of times there's so many tools. Like I myself don't have much experience with databases. The only experience I've had is with SQL, and honestly, it's pretty complicated, and it does involve whole ecosystems. But the cool thing about this is that you can pretty much use Google's tools. You are familiar with their UI, with how they manage everything, and it's a pretty fast solution. It's also very intuitive. That's actually why I love it myself.
Oh shit, Kazi just dropped a super chat. He goes, guys, start going, let's go, love you both, let's keep that pace up. Also, what's up, CP fam? Let's go. Nice go. That's awesome,
Kazi. Much love, brother.
Let's do it. So guys, carrying on, what we're going to do is all you need to get started with Firebase is a Google account. So you want to click on go to console, and then all you need to do once you're inside the console is go ahead and click add a project, right? So click add a project, and once you're inside here, you want to do Hulu clone. I've actually already done one because I'm going to call it Hulu YouTube clone, but you can call it Hulu clone. This bit really doesn't matter, guys. You want to click continue. You can enable Google Analytics or not. I'm going to choose to just get rid of it for this one. So this is why we need to do this, for one reason, because we're going to be deploying the app just like this. You see, like it's going to have its own URL in the end, and we're going to have everything sort of working in that way. So we need to set up Firebase so that we can do that later on. Okay. So with that said, what we also need to do is go ahead over to TMDB. Right, so TMDB, and this is the movie database, and what we need to do is we need to actually go ahead and get a key from this movie database. So you need to create an account. So I've gone ahead and created an account. You click login, and let's go ahead and oh god, I can't remember where the hell this key is, but
is this free, by the way?
TMDB? This is free. This is free. Awesome. So you need to go to settings. And then I'm just going to quickly hide this for a second because I just want to double check something. But okay. So yeah. So let's go ahead and do this. So 1 second, guys. Give me
somebody asks, how much storage does Firebase provide? Aditya.
How much storage does Firebase provide? So they actually provide they provide a very generous quota of free storage, guys. So pretty much for what you're going to be using it for, you have more than enough storage on there, and it's only when you're sort of scaling to sort of serious numbers that you're going to have to worry about that stuff. But guys, once you're inside of the TMDB, so let's go ahead and go over it. Once you're inside TMDB, what you want to do is you want to click on this over here in the top. Yeah, and you want to click on the settings, and then it'll take you to this page, right? On the bottom left over here, you've got API, right? So you want to go over to API, and then if you scroll down, you should be able to see API key version 3 auth, okay? So this key right here and this over here. The reason why, I don't really think it's going to be a huge bummer if everyone gets access to this key. But the point is that I don't want it to come down in the middle of a live, so I'm just going to go and hide it for now. But this is what you need to go ahead and do, right? So you need to go ahead and get this key, copy it somewhere safe, and we're going to be using that later on. right? So with that said, I'm just going to quickly get out of the screen. So you need that key. So we've got our key, we've got Firebase set up, and we're ready to move. So now let's go back to our React app. So
let's go. Who's pumped, people?
That's it, guys.
Put in the comments below if you're pumped.
That's it. We just hit over 500 viewers as well, guys. So this is awesome. Let's keep the energy high. So now what we're going to do is go into the Hulu clone. So make sure you're inside the right directory. And then what you want to do is go inside of here, and you can see you've got a bunch of things here, right? So what we want to do is we need to get rid of a few things. We want to get rid of the app.test.js, the logo, and the setup test. So these 3 files we want to get rid of. We just got a super chat. Thank you so much. And that was by Docker. Awesome stuff, dude. Thank you.
Indian rupees. Thank you so much, Docker. We appreciate you, man. Thanks for being part of the family.
Amazing.
And we'll go ahead and right into this.
Exactly. Thank you so much, dude. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and delete these. So to actually get the app started, you're going to do npm start. That'll spin up the app. You should be able to see a sort of spinning React icon if everything went well. So we should be able to see that over here now. And what will happen is that will pop up in localhost 3000. So that's where any React app goes ahead and starts off, right? So let's see. We should see it spin up now. There we go. So once you get to this point, guys, you're in a very good place. You've pretty much started your first React app. So let's go ahead and do a cleanup process. So like I said, we're going to delete this one. Hey, we just got another one, dude.
Donation. Parda Pridam. Thank you so much. 100 Indian rupees. We appreciate you guys so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for all the love.
Massive. This gets us pumped, guys. So this is awesome. We're going to delete the logo. We're going to delete setup tests. Now you can see the terminal is going to start freaking out because what we're doing is, so I'm going to go ahead and hide the terminal right now. We want to actually go ahead and get rid of the logo over here because we no longer have that logo file. Get rid of all of this stuff and just type in here saying, let's just say, let's build a Hulu clone, clever programmers. Nice. Save it. And then what we will be able to see is you get this, right? So let's build a Hulu clone, clever programmers. And what I'm going to do, guys, for you guys is I'm going to go ahead and actually make this a bit easier for you guys to see. So I'm going to go ahead and hide this. Let's go ahead and drop this. Let me close that before it lags up a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this over onto the other screen so you guys can actually see as we code.
Woo,
as it pops
another
up.
Super chat donation from Funwit Sanchi. That's
nice.
awesome. Thank you so much. He says, hey, Sonny, happy to see you here. We worked in test code together, and now we're learning from you here as well from Nimish.
Oh my god, that's insane, dude. Holy crap. I have to take a minute there. Oh,
that's amazing, man. For all you guys that don't know, Tesco is pretty much the UK version of Walmart, and that's where Sonny was working before here in Clever Programmer. So that's amazing, man.
Dude, that's crazy. Oh my god. Wow.
We also got another super chat from Akshat Upal. Thank you so much, man. 100 Indian rupees. We appreciate you guys so much. We're barely about to start this build, and we're already at $33 donation. Thank you.
Oh,
really
that's it.
that.
Let's go, guys. That's awesome. The guys, that's just blown my mind. Wow. Like somebody I used to work with just reached out. That's insane. I love you guys. This is so cool. Right. So now what we're going to do is let's go ahead and go to app.css. And what you want to do here is I might make this a tad smaller, so let's go ahead and do this. Boom, there we go. And then what we're going to do is Frankie, is that still pretty clear?
Yeah, I can see that. Very
awesome.
Very good. It looks way better.
Yeah, nice. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and delete everything inside app.css. And if we save it, you see it got rid of some default styles. Now, there's always this default little extra piece of space over here. You see that? And we don't want that. So to get rid of that, we need to go to index.css. And I like to add it here because it just makes a lot of sense adding that rule over here. And what we do is margin 0, save it, and you notice it pops up, right? So it'll pop up a little bit. You want to make sure you do that. Because that will actually give you pretty much a clean slate so that any rule that you then go ahead and write or build is going to go ahead and only apply the styles that you want. Now, with that said, guys, what we want to do is we want to basically sort of draft out the app, right? So this app is going to consist of a bunch of components. At the top, we're going to have a header. So we're going to have some kind of header at the top, right? So it's going to be some kind of header over here. And then we're going to go ahead and have a that sub navigation bar. So something over here. So it's going to be some kind of navigation bar. And then we pretty much have a bunch of results underneath it. right? So I'll go ahead and I'll show you guys this visually in the actual build. So we have the header at the top, the navigation bar, and then some kind of results. So if we look at the actual build, oh, nice. We just got another one.
Clever programmer, that's Kazi. Sonny, can you keep showing final build now and then as well on the right side? All good. If not, some people might not have seen the app yet.
Dope.
Cool.
We'll
so
do
we'll
that.
show you guys.
Yep, we'll do that, guys. So you can see right here, we have, this is the actual Hulu app that we're building. So a lot of people might have joined after when we initially started. Whoa, we just got another £5 chat. Damn, dude.
Wow.
Insane.
Wahab Rehman, thank you so much, man. He says, just a request, could you please make a React Firebase project with admin account with full authentication? I'm struggling with that. Definitely, man. We'll touch on that.
You got it, dude. That's awesome. We will definitely do that and make that for you. And we've also got another donation. Thank you so much, Ankit. Damn, dude, this is insane. Holy crap.
So much love. Love it. Thank you so much, Ankit. We really appreciate you, man.
Thank you, guys. So you can see we have the header at the top. So this is the header component that we're going to be building. Then we have a navigation component. So the navigation is going to be this one, and it's going to be purely responsible for navigating between the different genres or sections of the app. And then we have the results, right? So we have the results that render out here. And then as you can see, this results is completely responsive as we showed you before. So a completely responsive set of results. And that navigation, just to show you in practice, guys, when you click it, those results get updated in a really nice, efficient way. And it pulls that information from TMDB. Okay. So this
so
is
fast
also,
too.
Yeah, it's really, really nice and clean. Thank you, Atul Doobie, for another donation. Love you guys. This is insane.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, this is so cool. So Joshua said, can you make a Robin Hood clone? Yes, we have Robin Hood coming. So stay tuned, guys. What I'm going to do as well, Frankie, I'm going to go ahead and toggle word wrap. So that way you guys will never get it off the screen, right? Now, so let's go ahead. And what I like to do, if you haven't seen my builds before, well, I like to sort of mask things out. And Frankie and Kazi have said this is very helpful for a lot of you guys. So if you do find it helphelpful, all I ask is smash the thumbs up button. So
go.
That's it. Just smash the thumbs up button. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we have the header component that we spoke about. So the thing at the top, right? We had the navigation component, which was that sort of sub navigation bar. And then we had the results, right? So I like to do this because it gives you a very clean layout and you can just start building it in a very sort of structured way, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is build this header component over here. So let's go ahead and do this. And you can see, obviously, if I do this, it's going to say failed to compile because we don't have a header, right? So let's go ahead and create that file. So we're going to do header.js. Boom. And now I'm going to show you a lovely little trick. We just got another donation.
Another donation. Pradhan Salyan. Thank you so much. 16 rupees. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much, dude. Amazing. We can't actually see the some of the GIFs and GIFs that you guys are posting. Notice how I said both because we don't start a war on that GIF line. Yeah. So here, guys, if you do RFCE and I hit enter, you get this lovely little snippet. And if you're wondering how we do that, then what you need to do is go over here and just download this lovely extension called ES7. Just type in ES7 snippets and you'll get this, right? So just install that, and that's how you go ahead and get this functionality where if you do RFCE, enter, boom, you get that, right? Now, we're going to be using something called BEM for our naming convention. So this is how we name our classes. If you don't know what BEM is, check out the builds previously or go ahead and check out BEM online. But here, basically, it starts off with just the component name. Okay, so that's BEM. And then every time we build a component, what we're going to do is to speed this up, we're basically going to go ahead and create a CSS file. So in this case, header.css like this. Boom, save it. And we need to create that header.css file so we can actually go ahead and write some CSS inside of it. So there we go, our header CSS file. Nice. Now, if we go over, let's close this file because we don't need it. Now in here, it's still complaining. So you can either import it at the top manually, or if you go to the end of the header and you press Control Spacebar, auto import, and you get a nice little trick. And if you save it now, there you go, guys. So you see, it stops that sort of freaking out. And just to prove that that is the header component rendering, if I do H1 and say I am a header and save, there you can see I am a header. So just quick reiteration of what we just did. Let's go ahead, remove this. We basically just built the header component, right? So that's pretty much finished, guys. I'm joking. Awesome. we're not done yet. We've got the header component here, and that's going to basically, we're going to turn this like sort of nasty thing which says I'm a header to this beautiful header over here, right? And we're going to use Flexbox and Material UI to make it look like that, right? Now
That's a beautiful placeholder. Makes it very easy for you to understand that that's the header that you're going to be working in.
Exactly. So it's going to be super useful for you guys. And once you actually go ahead and create that, let's go ahead and delete that. Dilip says, React God, how are you? Yeah, thank you, dude. I'm doing good. I'm doing better now because I got Frankie here. I mean, I love I love doing lives with Frankie. This is awesome. Right. So now, guys, what we're going to do for the header, let's go ahead and jump in. So we've got the header component, and the first thing we need a bunch of icons, right? So what we're going to go do at this point is we're going to go ahead and go to materialui.com, and let's go ahead and go to here. So you see it says npm install Material UI core. So what we're going to do is, to get this working, press Command J to pull up the terminal. Now I like to keep a terminal open and just hit the add button. So that way you see it's still got my terminal running, but I've got a second terminal over here. So that way you don't have to keep stopping everything. And then I'm going to paste that. So it's npm install Material UI core. And while that's doing that, guys, so you can see it's installing, what we're going to now do is go over here, type in icons like this. And then you can see we also need to install this one. So you're going to need to install Material UI core and the icon set. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go back over here. And so you see once that's done, we're going to do install Material UI icons like that. Awesome. And then just let that.
I love it because it's like you guys are getting to see how Sonny starts apps just from scratch. And really, it's a whole journey. Sometimes, people skip steps on tutorials. So it's great that you guys are actually able to see this.
Yeah, and I think even when sort of we see new people come to the channel, I think that's where they see the most value, because they can pretty much start from the beginning and go all the way to the end with us. So yeah, if you guys are enjoying it, then let us know in the comments. So awesome. So we added the icon set, right? Now, something I want to show you guys here, you can see you've got a button which says you can search the full list of these icons. So let's go ahead and click that. And you can see you get to this really nice sort of icon picker. Now this is where we find our icons, guys. So if I go ahead and type in search, if I click this, you can see it gives me the code for the icon, and you can pretty much go ahead and just get all of the icons that we need. So all of these icons that you guys see over here, whether it be the account, whether it be the home, this little lightning, every little thing, for example, even the lightning one, all I did was I went here and I typed in lightning, and I got this one, flash on. And that's the import to use it, and then you just use it as a regular component. So throughout the app, you're going to see me using a lot of icons. This is how we get them. Okay, so now that we cleared that up, hey, let's go delete. Thank you, dude. He just dropped a 50 rupee super chat. Woo! Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, man.
That's awesome, dude. Thank you.
Much love.
Appreciate that. We're at 640 viewers at the moment. This is awesome, guys.
Let's go. Hopefully we can reach 1,000.
Yeah, let's get that number up, guys. Let's go.
And you can get a free lunch, maybe.
Yeah, we get another free lunch. It's so funny, that free lunch that got sent to me, the vouchers don't work in the UK.
Oh, wow.
So one day when I
can use that for you.
Yeah, you can use that. Awesome. Nice. So now let's go to header.js. And what we're going to do here, guys, is we're basically going to go ahead and do two things. So whenever we do these kind of layouts, what I like to say is, so imagine over here, right? What we essentially have is we have like two containers. We have one container here, and we have essentially another container over here, right? Now, if we basically have two containers, and oh no, why is it not freezing? One sec. If we have two containers, like this one over here and this one over here, and we do display flex, now they're going to be in rows, and then if we do space between, that's how I pretty much push this one all the way over there, and I push this one all the way over there, right? So we need two containers, right? And then inside the left container, we're going to have all the icons. Inside the right container, we'll just pretty much have the image. Okay, so to show you guys how to do that, over here, what we're going to do is we're going to say div, and this is going to have a class name of header icons, right? So we're going to have a div, and it's going to have a class name of header icons over here. And what we're going to do now is, this is where all the icons are going to go. So all icons here, like that. We can get rid of this I am a header. And for the next one, we could have a div and an image inside of it. But if you think about it, on the right, all we have is the image. So we don't actually need a div. We could just use an image, right? Awesome. We just got another donation from Sai Sandip. He says, your live streams help me to become good at CSS. Thank you guys and keep going. Nice, dude. Appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Sai.
Love that.
Beautiful, man. So then the image on the right is going to be the Hulu logo, right? And then you're going to push it back to the right side of it so that, you know, it has a little bit of padding and looks good with the whole, the other left side of the header, right?
Exactly what Frankie just said. So exactly. So we've got an image tag here, and this is a logo just from Google. So I've just gone to Google, I've typed in Hulu logo, and I typed in Hulu logo white, and I found this one, right? So let me go ahead and toggle the word wrap. Let's go ahead and do this. So you can see now we pretty much have, and you know what, let me go ahead and try and actually change this permanently, because it's going to do it on different pages. It's got enable word wrap on. There we go. Boom. Nice. So now we've got this. So you can see we've got the source. It's a white image. So you won't actually see this right now, but if we go ahead and inspect this and go ahead and make this full screen, there's an image here. So you guys can see that there is actually an image right here, but because it's white, you can't actually see it. So you see, if I go ahead and do that, you can see it says Hulu, right? So there is an image there. Just don't be fooled because it's white. So nice. So we have the header icons, and then we have the image next to each other. So these are two containers. And then just to show you guys, let's go ahead and pop some icons in there. So the first, I'm going to go ahead and import a bunch of icons at the top. So let me go ahead and pull these in right now. So these are a bunch of imports.
Sonny, by the way, can you zoom a little bit into the code just so we can have a little bit of a bigger view of it?
Yep. So let's go ahead and do that now. There we go. Like that.
Awesome.
Yeah, nice.
I think that's better.
Awesome, dude. So now what we're going to do is we're going to paste, and you can see these are the, like I said before, these are the icons that we spoke about earlier, right? Now, some people are saying, when will Redux come? We're not using Redux in this build. I'm showing you guys how we can actually go ahead and use a sort of a very simple level of sort of using state and props to actually achieve everything we need. So my advice to you guys, if you're new to development, is don't get caught up with always thinking that you need Redux or always thinking that you need the context API. You can do some crazy builds like this one, for example, the one that we built here, all without the React Context API or Redux. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how you do that today. There's a time and place for those things, but you don't always need to overcomplicate a build. Right? So here we have the home icon, and to use it, let's go ahead and do this. Let's do home icon, save, and we should see on the right now, we'll get a home icon which should pop in. So there we go. Lovely little home icon. If I zoom in a little bit, you guys should be able to see that. So we've got the home icon, we have the flash icon, so let's go ahead and grab this one. Flash icon here, and then we've got the live icon, so this one over here, like that. Save.
The library icon.
Yep.
Nice. Those look awesome, man.
You see, like these ones, and look how easy that is, guys. Like we've just imported them using Material UI. It saves us all the headache of going and finding them, and it just imports as a component. Really, really nice stuff. Also, I see a lot of people asking about the GitHub repos. This is kind of like a topic that I was going to talk about with a lot of people because, oh, and we also got another donation. Thank you so much, Travel
Two more
Tools.
donations.
Oh,
Travel Tools and Sumit Anglicar. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Guys,
I'm pumped, man.
Yeah, this is insane. I love that. I'm kind of skeptical to give the GitHub repos because I feel like following along is going to give you a lot more value. It doesn't take long for us to go ahead and put this on GitHub, but then I just find that people copy rather than actually learn. So maybe we'll see how it goes. If we do put them up on GitHub, you guys will see it in the description. But yeah, my advice is if you're following this right now, just follow it along with us, guys. Like this is completely, we're doing this for you guys to learn from it. Just follow it along and you'll get the most value from it. Nice.
Yep. At the end of the day, it's going to be practice that's going to, ingrain that skill set into you. So really do follow along and then up your skills, put it on your portfolio, guys. Start seeing the results. That's awesome. Like Sonny said, check out the description below. If we do add the GitHub repository, we'll put it there. So
yeah, exactly. Oh, awesome. Joseph Murad just dropped he says, here, Red Bull. Thank you, dude.
We need some Red Bull right now.
I know, right? Awesome. So let's go ahead and continue on. So we have these icons, right? Now, if you notice, each one of these icons actually has some text under it. So it says verified, trending, home, collection, search, account, right? Really clean.
So once you hover over them, you see the actual text.
Yeah, and then we have one active one here, and then we have these ones where it's got like this sort of look and feel to it, right? So firstly, before we actually go ahead and do that, let's go actually and clean up this image, because I would like to kind of see that image, and right now we can't really see it and it's kind of a headache. So let's go ahead and go to our header.css file. So this one right here. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and pop my code up so I can see everything. Nice. So inside of header.css, I'm going to target the header container, so this outer container over here. And I'm going to basically go ahead and do color white. So I'm going to set all of these to white, and that will actually change the color here. But before we do that, let's go ahead and change this to like, just change it to red to exaggerate something, right? So we can see it. And then what I'm going to do, I'm say display flex, right? Display flex. And now you can see all the header sort of elements, right? So everything, all these header elements are kind of gone into a column. And the reason why is you're thinking, hang on, but shouldn't it be a row? Right? Because no, remember, like I said, this is actually, there's an image here. So to exaggerate this point, I'm going to do background color, and let's just make this black for a second. Right? So background color of black. And if we make that image smaller, so just to show you guys, because right now there is an image there, but it's so big that you can't see it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is go ahead and make that a lot smaller. So let's do object fit contain to keep the aspect ratio, and let's do height of 80 pixels. So you can see there is a Hulu logo there, right? So let's go ahead and make this half and half like this. Awesome. So you can see now we've got everything in this sort of format, so it looks very, very nice. It says Sonny's voice is too high. Frankie, is my voice too high?
From my end, I feel like it's okay. Maybe drop down the gain a little bit, or the actual.
Just adjusted it a tiny bit. There we go. Right. Nice. So now what we're going to do is we are going to go to now we're going to add a padding of 20 pixels, so we're not we don't have everything around the outside. So if I do that, there we go, got a nice little padding of 20 pixels. And then I'm going to do align items center, so everything's aligned centrally on the vertical axis. So there you go, pulls it down.
Nice.
And then what we're going to do is justify content space between, right? This is the magic that actually separates everything. So I don't know what happened there. So oops, we've just got rid of something. So let's see what we did there. We've got background color of black. Let's go ahead and boom. This one right here, we've got justify content, header, overflow X. Let's do a scroll. So if it goes too big, where did that go? Okay, so it's kind of gone way over there right now. So we need to fix out why that's happening. What I would do to fix this, guys, is firstly, you see like the app right now has some weird width going on, right? So let's go to app.js. Let's go to inside of our app.css, and remember I changed this to a lowercase a. So go inside app.css and actually set the width of app to 100 view width, right? And this will actually go ahead and fix. Oh, I know why. It's because I was zoomed in, dude. I think was I? Well, I don't know. I'll figure this one out. But basically, what we're going to do here is the background color, right?
Ooh, got another super chat by Ankit Srivastava. Nice. Can you tell me how to pass data from child comp to parent?
Nice. Yeah, so we will be doing that definitely today. So if you stay tuned on this video, and I'll be showing you actually a very powerful way that we do that, because the actual whole app functions off of that parent to child prop passing. So that's going to be a really handy thing. So stay tuned and you'll be able to find out. Awesome. So 100 view width, right? So let's go ahead and refresh. And I don't know why. I mean, do you know what? Oh, it was me. I was zoomed in on the Mac trackpad. That was why. Yeah. Okay, guys, that was my bad. So this is how it actually looks. Okay, that's awesome. All right, now we're back in. I was thinking, I was like, what the hell is going on? Like,
yeah, now it's starting to look like the build. Now I can see the header.
Yeah.
How it's gonna form out.
Exactly. So now you can see like there's a little bit more of a sort of structure to it, right? So
yeah, exactly.
Now, and also I saw somebody ask, what does this mean? So this means the image tag inside of the header container. So the direct child of the header container. So that's why we do that. So now you can see, look, that justify content that I spoke about, it pushes the two containers apart from each other. So you get this very nice sort of finishing touch, right? Now, what we want is, you can see like when we made it a bit smaller.
So, Sonny, one question: when you add the justify content one, does that make it like more responsive in case like you do end up, making the? I see. Okay. The dots are smaller.
Yeah, exactly. So if I go ahead and also just want to say, .NET Sean just dropped us 10 euros, dude. He says thanks for your awesome streams. Appreciate you, dude.
Thank
That's
you
insane.
so much, brother.
Yeah, thank you for that, dude.
Man.
Yeah, that's awesome. Right, so let's go ahead and check this. So now, you see, guys, justify content space between. If we actually go ahead and see, like if I go and resize this now, it's not very responsive, right? Like, I mean, that's not very nice to look at. But if I go ahead and add justify content space between, boom, look at that. The Hulu logo is
beautiful.
Yeah.
With one line of code, guys. Wow, that is insane. Exactly. Also, we just crossed the 700 watching now mark. So 700 people in this live stream. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate that.
Thank you so much to Shah as well. He just dropped another donation. Appreciate that, dude. And guys, if you're enjoying the video, all we ask is that, what do they have to do, Frankie?
Man, if you guys are enjoying this content, you're enjoying this video, please smash that like button because it's going to help us share it with so many other people just like you that want to learn this skill set, how to build these apps, and right now, Hulu. So drop something in the comments below, drop some of that love, and also smash that like button and even the subscribe button.
Exactly. And guys, if you are enjoying this, pull out your phones, shoot an Instagram story, and hit me and tag me and Frankie's Instagram handles over here. So I'm just pointing at them now. So make sure you go ahead and do that, and then we can have a chat and we can see you guys and see who's watching. Awesome. So let's get back to it. So let's change the color of those icons to white, so it starts to look a bit more nicer. We're not going to keep this as a black background, but it's just purely for the visibility, so we can actually go ahead and see what's going on. Nice. So now what we're going to do is, let's go ahead and style those icons, right? So let's go ahead and style those icons. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead to those icons, and I'm going to, so remember those icons are inside of a container div here, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do header icons. I'm doing display flex. I'm saying align the item centrally and text align center. This is important for later, right? So this is going to be important for later, and it'll make a lot of sense as to why we do that. But for now, what I want to do is I actually want to basically go ahead and remember in the actual build, we had the text underneath, right? So in order to get that working, what we need to do is we need to actually go ahead and go over to the header, and what we need to do is actually wrap all of these icons inside of, so for example, this is how we've done it at the moment, but what we want to do is actually go ahead and wrap each icon in a div, and we're going to call this one header underscore icon, like that. And then I'm going to pop the icon inside of there, save it, so you can see now we've got the icon inside, right? And then we're going to add a p tag, right? So a p tag, and this is going to say home, for example. And if I save this, now you can see that it says home, right? Beautiful. So you see it says home. Now we're going to do that to all of them, right? So I'm going to go ahead, and rather than sort of doing that same step, I've got a snippet here that I'm going to go ahead and pop in. So I'm basically going to replace all of these with, like we said, guys, wrap it in a div with a class name of header icon, a p tag with some context behind it. So you can see we've got trending, verified, collections, search, and account, right?
So wrapping each individual one in divs makes it so that it becomes more flexible, right? So you can do more things with the actual image itself if you want to give it space, or if you're adding more components to that header, right?
So the reason why I actually put them in divs is because we wanted it so that they sort of, you see, like right now, all of these essentially, if we look at this, you've basically got a container here. So that's the header icon, that's a header icon, that's a header icon, right? And you see each child in there. So we've got the text, we've got the trending, the home, the verified, and then you've got the icon, right? Because it's in its own container, they're something that we call display inline. So right now it's doing something called display inline in that small container, right? So this small container, this one right here, is doing display inline. So this right here, yeah. And what we can do is we can change this from display inline to display flex, and then we could do things like justify content center, and that will keep everything centered, which is why even when we change the sizing over here, you see, like even when things are spread out, that box, everything stays central within its sort of container. You see that, right?
Beautiful. I see.
So what we're going to do now is we have the header icon, and in order to basically go ahead and space them out a little bit more, right? What we're going to do is we're going to target those header icons. So let's go back here and let's just do the following. So we're going to say header icon, and here we do, if I do display flex on the header icon, you see everything goes into a row, right?
Amazing.
So that's handy, but it's not exactly what we want. To do flex direction column like this, and then you can see it all goes underneath, right? And then if I do width of 100 pixels, then you see everything sort of gets somewhat spaced out. And then if I do margin right of 30 pixels, everything gets a little bit more split. But you know what, actually for this one, let's go ahead and actually not do that. Let's go ahead and actually fix the reason as to why these aren't centered at the top of everything, right? So you see everything's not centered correctly at the top. And also guys, when I hover over it, look, I still get this annoying like pointer, right? I actually want to see a sort of hovering effect. So if we do this cursor pointer, now you can see when I hover over it, I get like a nice sort of, my cursor changes to that pointer. Right?
That adds a lot to the build, actually. You know, sometimes people do ignore that, and it just gives it a whole other experience once your cursor changes once you're on top of or hovering on top of those buttons. It gives kind of like subconscious directions to the people to click on them.
Exactly. It's all about those subtle things, guys. Massive thank you to Aman Jain. He says, thanks, Sonny, Frankie, Naz, and Kazi. Your videos are my favorite pastime now. Cheers, guys. Much appreciated. And please don't put codes on Git. Let people watch through and get the value. I personally feel the same way, dude. So it's still we're still making that decision, but we'll keep you guys tuned with what we decide. Nice.
Thank you so much, man. Aman. Appreciate you, man. Much love.
Thank you, dude. So now what we're going to do is to target the icons, right? So to target these icons that we see inside of here, right now, rather than giving them all a class name, Material UI gives it a class name by default, right? So what we can do is we can actually go ahead and say, we can say header icon, and then we can say the direct child, which is this Material UI SVG icon root. So where am I getting that from? If I go to inspect, if I go over here and I basically grab this, you can see over here on the right, let me go ahead and pull this over here. You see it says Material UI icon. So I'll actually make that very big. You can actually see the class name that Material UI gives it is Material UI SVG icon root. So we're saying inside of our header icon container, just go and grab that, right? So that's how we get that. And then what I'm going to say is, so there's a trick. If you do margin left, margin right, auto, what you'll see now is it will actually go ahead and center everything, because it basically gives it a max width, as much sort of margin on the right and as much margin on the left, and that actually naturally centers something. So that's how the icons, you can see they're getting centered right now, right? So that's awesome.
Yep,
and then we're going to make it a little bit of a different size. We're going to say font size 30 pixels, and it just adds a little bit more beefiness to it. We're also going to go ahead and do the following. So now, by default, I don't want this text to show, right? I don't want the trending, the verified, the collection, search account. I don't actually want that to show. So how do we hide that by default, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to target the P. So we're going to say inside the header icon, target the P tag. So we do that with this. We say header icon, target the P tag. And what you can do is, firstly, I want that to be uppercase. So let's actually make it look a bit nicer first. So I want it to be uppercase like this. So to do that, we do text transform uppercase. Text transform uppercase like this. Save it. Boom. Everything goes uppercase, right? Letter spacing. So that's how you see right now our letters are very closely spaced, but these ones are a bit more apart. To get that, you do letter spacing 3 pixels, and you can see everything looks a bit more sort of beefed out. Don't worry that they're all overlapping. We'll fix that in a sec as well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say font size small, margin left, margin right of auto. So let's go ahead and do this. And that actually goes ahead and centers everything, and it makes the font size smaller. It's fine that they're overlapping for now. I'll show you why. Because what we're going to do is we're going to say display none. Right? So display none, which actually hides everything. And you're probably wondering, well, what's the point of making it look nice if we're hiding it? And the reason why we do that, guys, is because we actually add this magic line over here. So we say when we hover over the header icon, so that container, so when we hover over that, target the P tag inside. And then we're going to say change the display rule for that one that you're hovering over. And let's do inline. So let's go ahead and do inline. And now you can see, look at that.
Beautiful, man. Whoa. So when you say display inline, that's showing what specifically?
So
The p tag of the icons themselves, or what?
yeah, so the display inline is saying basically by default, whenever you have a container, so if you have a div, right? So if you have like any sort of div, so let's say this is a div. By default, if I put like an element inside of it, so if I put one element here, another element in, by default, it basically goes in, it's called display block, or I think it's display inline. So basically, they just stack up. So you basically just stack things up on top of each other, which is why you see that by default, you get the text come up here, and then you got the icon over here, right? So what we're saying is, make the p tag always hide itself, right? So always hide itself, which is why we don't see any of the p tags, right? But when we hover over it, show the p tag, but in the form of display inline, which means it will drop that p tag here, right? And then you see the p tag, and which is why when I hover over it now, you can see that you get a very nice.
Amazing.
So you get a very nice.
It even bounces a little bit.
Yeah, you get a very nice sort of like slick effect there, right? So that's really cool, really clean, and you can see it's the same that we got over here. So now you can see on the left on our actual build, we've got this right here, which is it's always got home active, which is because it's like home is selected right now. Okay. So how do we give something a selected sort of state, right? And what I will show you is BEM actually have a very good way of doing this. And what we'll do is I'll show you how we will write this. So let's go ahead and make this smaller for now. So you can see here, if we do, so in BEM convention, what you usually say is, we say for the selected one, so you can do header icon, and then usually have something called a modifier. So it's dash dash, and then in this case, we're going to say active, right? So this one would be considered the active one. And then what we can do is, if we go on to over here, and then I basically do this, I say target the header icon, which is active. And what we can end up saying is always basically show that one as display inline. So always show that one as display inline. Now what this will do is, you see by default, it will actually go ahead and it will snap in there. So if we go ahead and save this, header icon active. Oh, oops, it's because it has to be after this rule. So, oh, sorry, no. We have to do display inline, but I'm going to make it dash import. Oh, oops, what have I done? Display inline, but I'm going to make this one dash important because we want this one to be, we're basically saying this does not get overwritten by any other rule.
Oh, that's why it's always showing?
Yeah, and you can see it kind of jumped underneath there, which is strange, right? It doesn't look great. So I actually changed this because we should be using this inline flex for this one, right? So inline flex for the active one. And even here, let's actually keep to a better convention, use inline flex. And what that will do is it actually sticks to some of the rules that we've added in before. So now you can see, if I go ahead and save it, let's double check something. Header icon active. Let's go ahead and check header icon active. There we go, home icon. P tag inline flex. There we go, P tag inline flex header. Oh, okay. It's because I need to do this. Sorry, I'm not targeting this one. I'm saying target the P tag inside of that. Yeah, there we go. That's why it wasn't showing up.
There we go.
So now you guys can see we have a lovely looking responsive bar at the top, right? So as
now it's permanently showing. What I like about it too is like now that you see that home is showing, then intuitively, if you hover over, you can kind of tell that the other titles will appear. You know?
Yeah,
it's giving you direction for that, in my opinion.
Exactly. So this is all about like being a good front end developer, guys. It's all those little sort of traits which is telling you that this is clickable. This is like this is where I'm gonna go if I click this and so forth. And this is active right now, right? So that's all sort of the subtle things which make you sort of a better front end developer. Now notice that there's a scroll bar here, right? There's a scroll. So if I make this super small, you can scroll. So that's pretty good. But we don't want to actually show the scroll bar, right? So in some cases, I mean, look here, we don't actually show the scroll bar because we want that clean UI. So even here, if I make it smaller, everything's scrollable, but we don't actually show the scroll bar. To hide that, it's very simple. What we do is we add the following trick, right? We go ahead and go to
it looks so juicy. Once you take it out, it looks so juicy.
Yeah, it's clean, right? So like what we can do is we add this snippet, right? So I actually get this from W3 Schools. I use it all the time, the same snippet. And basically you say header : WebKit scroll bar display none, and that gets rid of it for Chrome, Safari, and Opera. And if you do header and you add these two, so MS Overflow style and scroll bar width none, that will go ahead and fix it for Internet Explorer, Edge, and Firefox, right? So this is how you remove a scroll bar but keep the functionality, right?
And how you make it very compatible with all the major browsers as well. That's awesome, dude. I didn't know that.
Exactly, because remember, you need to like try and account for everyone when you're doing this stuff. So it's going to be really important to go ahead and do that. So now what we're going to do is go back to the header.js, and we actually can.
We're at $69 chat revenue donations. Let's go, guys! Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. That's insane. Holy crap! Love that.
And we just got another donation by Sonu Kumar. Thank you so much, man. Hello, brothers. I love all streaming videos. Thank you, man. Much love to you.
Oh, did we? I can't actually see my. I think my chat's frozen in. Let me quickly reload my chat. 1 second, guys. So comments.
Yeah, maybe it hasn't refreshed.
Yeah, I feel like because sometimes it does that if you do.
So Connie G asks, when is the Airbnb live stream coming up? So that one is gonna come tomorrow, and that one Kazi's gonna be here with you guys, so you can get all you guys pumped. I know you missed them. You guys been dropping it on the chat, and whoa, another €5 donation. Damn, that's crazy.
Dude.
Yo, thank you so much, man. It says great streams. Also, why are you guys choosing to use Firefox with CSS instead of using grid systems in Material UI?
No, wait, say that again. Sorry, what was that? Why are we using?
He says, yeah, why are you using Flexbox with CSS instead of using the grid system in Material UI?
Good question, dude. So actually, we are using the Flexbox because it's just Flexbox is. I mean, like guys, the way I would say it is use Flexbox, learn Flexbox because you can. I built some seriously complicated layouts with just Flexbox alone. And then what you can do is move over to something more sort of sophisticated like CSS Grid if you need it. But remember, like I said, guys, don't overcomplicate your builds. Keep them simple. Like there's no sort of, you're not going to get a reward by overcomplicating the build. Instead, you're actually going to get sort of looked at badly because the developer who can build something extremely simply and go ahead and make it work and sort of which is very easy to maintain, that's going to be the developer that is more likely to get the job as opposed to someone who just over-engineers, overcomplicates the build, right? Awesome. So now I've actually pulled up the actual YouTube comments because for some reason I can't pin them anymore on the screen. Nice. Okay, so let's carry on, guys. So with that said, we were now looking at, so we've got this bit at the top done, right? Now, for the background color, it's ugly as black, so I don't want to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to basically comment this out in a second. So it's going to go back to white. If I comment it out, you guys can see you won't be able to see anything, which is why I haven't. But inside of app, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the entire background of the app what they have on Hulu. And that is this right here. So if you do background image and you do a linear gradient, and what we're saying here is we're saying go from basically left to right. And we've got like a very dark sort of black color here. And we've got like a very sort of subtle green, right? So if I save this now, you can see, if I save this, and then what I need to do is I also need to go back to header and get rid of that background color. And you can see now we get that nice little...
Wow.
Right?
Gradient type of thing, yeah.
Yeah, and you can see like, you see that? We get it there and we get it there. Very, very clean, right? So now the app is just pretty much, that's the background color of the app. And this is awesome because look, you can see the app starting to come together, right? So with that said, we just actually went ahead and finished the header section. So I think that deserves a little...
Let's go with the arrow.
Hey! Nice. There we go. Nice, guys. So we just done the header section right there, and next part is the nav bar, right? So the nav bar section of the build. So let's go ahead and continue here. So we can go ahead and do nav like this. And let's go ahead and create that file. So Command B is a shortcut to pull that up, in case you didn't know that. And what you can do is create a nav.js over here. Boom. And what we do is RFCE, create that. Let's go ahead and create a class name and give it nav, because we're going to stick to our BEM naming convention. I'm going to go ahead and import nav.css like that. And remember, because we're importing a nav.css, we need to go ahead and create that file. So nav.css like this. And now you can see we've got what we need, right? So it's still complaining because remember, we pulled it in here, but we need to go ahead and import it there like so. So now we import it. To prove that it's working, here we can say h1 and I can say I am the navbar like this, right? So there you can see I am the navbar pops in, right? So this is awesome. So somebody says, do you recommend using z-index? Don't only use the z-index when you need to, guys. Like, again, don't overcomplicate your build unless you actually need to do that. So we have I am a navbar. So what I'm going to do now is we need to actually go ahead and for the navbar, guys, we're going to keep it very simple to begin with, right? We're going to keep it super simple. We're just going to have a bunch of h2 elements, right? So, and they're basically going to say the different options. So one's going to say trending. Another one's going to say top rated, right? Another one's going to say, let's go ahead and do this. Oh, and now they're coming back again. Man, I don't know what Ecamm does sometimes.
Yeah, we love Ecamm.
Yeah. Vinoth Vino says, today Sonny is very handsome. Thank you, dude.
Like always. Let's go.
Thank you. There we go. And we change this to action. There we go. Nice. And here I'm going to change this to comedy, like so, comedy. And for example, and then you'll see that we've got those things basically popping up here, right? So comedy, and then I'm just going to chuck a few more in. So I'm actually going to fill these out right now so we don't actually have to repeat this step later. So we've got comedy, comedy, comedy. So we've got a few more sections here. We've got horror, we've got romance, we've got horror, we've got romance.
So Sonny, I know that right now we're adding the navbar functionality and everything. So the one that we just finished is the header, like you were saying.
Yeah.
But then what is the difference between, you know, the menu on top and then the actual navbar? Would that be considered like maybe another navbar, the first one?
Yeah, so good, very, very good question actually. So I think a lot of people might have got confused with that. So the top right here, guys, is actually sort of the navbar, right? So that's actually what you would typically consider a navbar. But in this case, when we didn't make this top navbar functional, which is why I didn't call it navbar for the demo purposes, right? So I'm referring to this one as the navbar because I'm basically referring to functionally make this do some stuff, right? So as I click this, it actually does some stuff here. But
Beautiful. That's how you actually navigate through the whole app.
Yeah, so that's why I decided to call it a navbar in this case, right? But this one right here, we're calling it sort of this one right here is nav, and then that one's just header because it's more of a sort of more presentational component as opposed to a functional it does something component. Yeah, right. So with that said, we've got our sort of stuff right here. So let's go ahead and style this so it looks a bit nice. So let's go ahead and go to nav.css. So let me open up my nav.css, and remember we are inside of the nav container, so this nav container right here. So now what we're going to say is we're going to say inside nav like this. We're going to say display flex. I'm also going to change the color to white so I can start seeing everything. So display flex automatically pushed everything into a row. The color white made it so that the text was obviously white. And then if I do overflow x scroll, this is basically going to add a scroll bar to the things which are going off the screen. So you see now I've got some scroll functionality, which is really nice. Somebody said, which editor are you using? This is called VS Code, guys. I'm using the Insiders edition. I'd recommend you use the normal edition, and that will be more than sufficient for what you need to do.
Visual Studio Code by Microsoft for you guys.
Yeah. Exactly. Nice. So
Awesome.
what we're going to do now is we're also going to add a padding. So I'm going to say padding of 10 pixels. So here, padding all around of 10 pixels like that. And you can see that adds a little bit of padding around it. And then I'm going to say padding left because I don't want it to touch the left side. I'm going to say padding left of 40 pixels, and that will actually push it away a little bit more from the left side. Right. Now, remember we talked about that trick before, how you hide the nav bars. So to hide it, you can see you do .nav, and then here, this is again the same trick that we used before. So for Chrome, Safari, and Opera, you do this one. And for Internet Explorer, Edge, and Firefox, you just do this. So you guys can go ahead and copy that, and that will actually go ahead and hide the nav bar. So you see it keeps the functionality, but it hides the nav bar. Awesome. So next is we're going to target those H2s, right? So you see here in nav.js, we've got these H2 elements inside here. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and say .nav, target the child H2 elements, and let's change them to a cursor pointer. So now when I hover over it, we get that nice little pointer, which is much nicer. Nice. Right? Because as Frankie said, like those little elements, guys, are what basically makes a website usable, right? It's like it makes a website actually usable.
It adds experience to it, right? It adds depth to it. Is this when maybe from UI you start becoming a little bit more of a UX developer, kind of giving the user an experience as well as, when they're using your actual app?
Exactly. Honestly, and it's very true. Like, especially if you're doing front end development, guys, you are pretty much going to be very, very heavily involved with like design elements and things like that. I think Kazi said, Frankie, where are we at in super chat?
So we're at $76 in super chat as of now, guys. Wow.
Damn.
We're almost about to cross the $100 mark. So that's going to be amazing. Thank you guys so much. I'm so surprised, man. Each live stream, we're just, hitting it off the park. It's insane.
That's awesome, guys. And if you guys didn't know already, tomorrow we are gonna go ahead and actually build Airbnb clone. So like, if you guys are excited about that, we are gonna be dropping that tomorrow. So drop a thumbs up if you're excited for that, and let us know in the comments what you guys want to see next in terms of a build. Right? We've got Facebook coming on Thursday as well, so full week of content for you guys. So fun stuff coming. So now
massive companies that we're building here, guys.
Yeah, massive companies, guys. Imagine you add all of these to your portfolio. That's a crisp portfolio, dude. That's a nice portfolio. Yeah, nice. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a margin left and a margin right of 30 pixels. So let's go ahead and drop that in, and I'm gonna change the font weight to 500. So we do that. You can see now it spaces things out a little bit more, and let's also go and do something here. So right now you see it looks like this, which is nice, right? It looks kind of cool. But if we look over here, you can see two things happen right now. If you go over it, the text actually, it kind of becomes a bit lighter, right? So it becomes a little bit lighter, and it also grows, but it doesn't snap. It animates. It grows like in a very nice, subtle way. So to get that functionality working, what we do is first we change the default opacity. So we change the default opacity to 0.7 like this, and that will actually make it, like you see, a little bit darker by default. And then what we do is we go and say target the navbar, target the H2 element, but when we hover over the H2 element, change the opacity to 1. So let's go ahead and look at what that does. So now if I go over it, so when I hover, the opacity goes back to 1. So you see that little color difference every time I hover over it, right?
Beautiful. Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome. And then we're also going to say transform, and we're going to say scale of 1.2. So this will actually mean that as soon as I go over it, it's going to scale a little bit. You see that? So it scales a tiny bit.
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
But that doesn't look as nice as this. Look at this, is like buttery smooth, right? So like this one, when we do it, like you see, like everything's buttery smooth. Now, to get that, what you do is you say to the parent container, or the actual H2 element itself, you say transition, and then you say the transform. So we're doing a transform. So make sure that the transform takes 50 milliseconds, and we're going to use something called ease out. So I'm not going to go through what the different ones are, ease in, ease out, but ease out is quite a cool one. And if we do that now, you can see, look at that, we get like a very nice animated look.
Wow, that's beautiful.
You see? So it's very nice how you get these little subtle changes, and it gives you that sort of finishing touch, right? That's it. Super crisp. So with that said, that's actually the UI portion of that navbar complete. So if we go ahead and just make this a little bit bigger so you guys can go ahead and see that, there you go. Like we've got that nice looking UI element right there, right? So that's very, very clean and looks pretty nice. So the next section is, let's go ahead and go to app, right? So we've got the results, right? The results section.
And we're at 798 likes on this video, guys. Let's go. We're going to reach that 1,000 by the end of this video. Help us out, guys. Smash that like button.
Yeah, let's see if we can get to 1,000, guys. I think we can. I think we got 1,000. We got that. Nice. Hey, Joshua Thomas is still with us. Awesome, dude. He says, beautiful. Simply beautiful. Nice.
Thanks for sticking out, man.
Thanks,
Appreciate you.
dude. And guys, we notice when you guys are watching, we notice who sticks around, who watches. Like, we start to get to know you guys. It's really cool. And then eventually, like, we see a lot of people inside the course, which is amazing. Awesome. So now, guys, the next section is we're gonna go ahead and tackle the results. Okay, so the results section. So here, what we need to do is let's go ahead and drop it here. So let's go ahead and do this. Results, like that. All right, so we need to go ahead and make this file. So I'm going to go ahead and say results.js. There we go. And I'm going to say rfce. There we go. And then remember, stick to our BEM convention. So class name equals results. Save it. There we go. And we need to import the CSS file. So import like this. We say results.css, like that. And remember, we need to create the results.css file. There we go. Nice. So with that said, that's really nice and clean. We have the results up and running.
Awesome. So right there, the results is you're going to start filtering out the movies by the specific thing that you're clicking, like trending, maybe top rated or action, all of those.
Yeah, exactly. So you see this section right here is the results. So we've already built the header. We just built the navigation. And the final piece of the puzzle is building this results. And when we say this results, this is like a scrollable container. So it's going to be something which we can scroll down. So it's going to be a longer container. And yeah, it's going to be pretty much fully responsible for all of the movies that you see. And also, if you guys didn't notice earlier when I was demoing it, when we hover over it, you see it actually shows you the date that it was added or the date the film was made and the number of likes. Right? So for each one, you see that? So it actually gives you...
That's beautiful, yeah.
All that information as well. So that's really cool. Nice. So let's go ahead and check now. Dude, since we said that, we just got over like 70 likes, 60 likes, I think it was.
Oh wow, that's insane.
Yeah,
now we're definitely gonna hit it.
Yeah,
thank you guys so much.
That's amazing. Thank you guys.
Yeah, man. People are showing so much love in the chat. We love you guys. Thank you so much. He says, Clever Programmer. Surab says, do you guys make only front-end clone? Like, don't you do an end-to-end one with backend, like Node, databases and stuff?
So, actually, I want to address that quickly. So, guys, we do end-to-end builds. Like, it's just because we do them using Firebase. Firebase is a backend solution, right? So I think it's a misconception. If we're not using Express or Node.js or something, it's not like a full build. Firebase is a complete build, guys. Like, Firebase is end-to-end. We've got the front end in React. The back end, we use Firestore in a lot of our builds. And then we deploy it using Firebase hosting. Very, very powerful stuff here. And yes, if you do need to have like some backend functionality, you can use Cloud Functions. But yeah, honestly, I would say we have been doing end-to-end builds. But to answer your question exactly, we will be using the MERN stack, and we've got a ton of builds. So yes, if you're super excited.
Also check out the Zoom clone that was made using Node.js as well. So that's a little bit different, but at the same time, I know huge companies are using Firebase as their backend. So.
Exactly.
And also, we just got a donation by Funwit Sanchi. Thank you so much. He says, Sonny, I am enjoying your way of teaching a lot. It's impressive.
I think this is, I think it's Nimesh who was working with me. I think I recognize the picture. I think it's the same person. Wow. Yeah, that's insane, dude. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Nice. All right, let's carry on, guys. So this is awesome. So... wow, Chris Cameron says logged into the second account to get the likes up. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, CPPAM. Another donation by Deepank. Thank you so much, man. We really appreciate you. 40 Indian rupees. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, dude. Awesome. So now what we're going to do is, this one's actually very, it looks very simple how we do this, right? So what we're actually going to have is we're going to have a video card component inside of results, right? So imagine we had a video card, and we also got another one from Ankit Shriva.
Oh, Ankit. Thank you so much. CSS skills are God level. Curious to see more.
Thank you, dude.
Thank you,
amazing.
Man. Stay tuned. You'll see more, definitely.
Exactly. It gets more and more from here. So we've got the video card component, right? Now, imagine a video card component. When I say that, I'm referring to this thing over here. So this is basically one video card component, right? And then what we can do is we can pass different props to it, and that will essentially just render it out in a different way. But we're just reusing the component, which is what React is all about. It's about reusing that component. David Jonathan, I see your question. He says, please, he's actually a student inside of PWJ. He says, please, what's the major difference between Firebase and Firestore, and why is Firebase your preference? Firestore is a database within Firebase, just to quickly answer that. But we can jump into that in the coaching call. I will definitely I'll explain that a little bit more afterwards. Awesome. So now, guys, like we said, we're going to build a video card. So let's go ahead and create a video card component. So video card.js, like this. And again, we're going to do RFCE. And look, guys, without these little snippets and stuff, like this would take you a little bit longer than what we're doing right here. So learn these little tricks and it will save you a lot of time. Like it will save you.
Yep, it stacks up. It really does stack up.
Yeah, it saves you a ton of time, especially when we're doing these builds daily. Take it from us that like without these tricks, it wouldn't be possible to pump out the content like this. So you have to be very sort of like mindful and just learn these little tricks.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's a lot to do with, the energy that you're putting to waste or, actually putting to use. So be aware of them, learn them. That's why Sonny's taking the time to teach you guys and actually point them out. So apply them.
Exactly. So now we have, Ermias says, I really want to have a one-on-one with you guys. Just check out the link in the description, and pretty much in PWJ, you can definitely have one-on-ones with us. So yeah, feel free to check that out. Just thought I'd answer that quickly. Nice. So inside of video card, guys, we have a few things going on. We essentially are going to pass in like a movie prop, right? So imagine we passed in, so the props come in here. So props are simply like customizable properties that we can pass into a component. And what we can do is we can destructure it and say, get me the movie object that we pass in, right? So imagine whenever we render this, we just say there is a movie and that movie is some kind of movie. And basically inside of video card, I use that to render it out in the way that we want. So what we can do here is inside the video card, it's going to consist of a few things. It's going to consist of like an image. So let's go ahead and actually grab an image, and I'm going to quickly drop it on our faces so that Google Images doesn't screw me over live. Let's go ahead and do something.
It's great because we're seeing you get all the resources as well, from the browser and everything. So that's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go ahead and check on. Let's go ahead and use this as a picture. So copy image address. Boom. And let's go back and let's go here. So image source, if I go ahead and pop this in. So this is a image online. And what we can do is if I render this image here. So let's go ahead and pull the video card component in. Sometimes that shortcut doesn't work and you're going to have to do it manually. So you say import video card from video card like this, save it. And what you should be able to see now is that image should be shown here actually. Let's just double check. If we do a H1, let's just say hello. Let's see if we see it. So all right, so right now we're not actually seeing, and let's just double check. So let's refresh. Okay, so we don't actually see our component. So let's check why we don't see it. So we've got the video card here. The results, are we rendering the results? It's going to app to save the file. Okay, so that was why. So we save it, auto import, and then it says movie is not defined. Okay, so this one. So for now, let's just ignore the movie. And there we go. So you can see we've got a picture right there, right? So we're going to use this as a temporary picture. So we've got an image, and then we would have some kind of text, right? So we'd have like an H2, which would be like.
So I think somebody's saying you're not sharing your screen. So.
Oh yeah, damn it. Oh yeah, oops.
Good call, guys.
Good call, guys. Thank you. That was that happens at times. Right, so this is all we did. So we pretty much all I did was add a image tag. That's literally all I did. And we added this movie. So the component takes a prop called movie, right? I love the sort of passion that I see from everyone. Like, you're not sharing your damn screen, dude. It's like,
who do you think you are?
Yeah, it's like give the people what they want. Yeah.
Nice. Guys.
Yeah.
Always point out things, guys, because sometimes we're oblivious to a few things. So many things are going on, so it always helps to know that somebody has your back, and I know that you guys do. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah, like us just dropped a good game. Oh man. So then we've got that, and then what we're going to do now is like imagine we had a movie. So this would be like the movie title. Let's say here, and then we would have a p tag. So something like underneath, and this would pretty much say something like, this would essentially be what we have here. So it would be like this thumbs up stuff, right? So we could just say like number of likes, blah, 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 something like that, right? And then, yeah, so we're going to have the movie title. And at the top, we would also have a movie overview. So like some kind of P tag over here, which would say like, this is a film about coding, right? Something like that. Right, this is a film about coding. So you see like here it says this is a film about coding. This would say some movie title, and then this would be the number of likes. So you see we're drafting it out roughly, right? I'll keep this super clean. I'll just do this. Yeah, this film about coding. Nice. So you can see it's all white. It's all black, sorry, which is why it's a little bit hard to see. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and basically make this a little bit more visible, style it so it looks a little bit nicer. Yeah, so let's go into videocard.css over here, and let's actually start styling this. So video card, remember, is the parent container, so everything is built around that. So let's go ahead and start styling the video card. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to give this, actually let's go ahead and fix that image, because right now the image is huge. So I'm going to say target the image, make sure it has a height of 300 pixels and a width of 500 pixels, right, which will give us this aspect ratio. So this one right here, this is the one that you see in Hulu or in the redesigned Hulu. And then we're going to say object fit contain, which keeps the, if I get rid of object fit contain, see it's stretched, right? So if we add that, it keeps the aspect ratio. This is super important, guys. It's really, really important, because if you don't do that one line of code, you start seeing stretched images everywhere, and it just ruins the entire experience. So we don't want that. And what we're going to do is we're going to go here, and first thing we're going to do is, because I hate it, I'm going to say color white. And now there we go, we can see the text, right? So that's a lot nicer. We're going to make the width of this be a set 500 pixels. We're going to make the height of this be a set with a height of 500 or 400 pixels, and I'm going to give it a padding. Oops. I'm going to give it a padding of 20 pixels. Okay. And you see now it's no longer touching the side, so it's got a little bit of spacing around it. Awesome. So what we're going to do now is I want it so that when we hover over this, we get this effect, right? So when we hover over it, we get this kind of nice smooth effect, right? Oh, this is a really nice comment. And he goes, I'm continuously open my eyes. Oh, this is awesome, dude. Someone says, I'm continuously open my eyes. I'm an Angular guy. I loved React when I saw your clones. That's why I love you 3000. Nice, dude. We have a little bit of a, I think I had the film down here. It was, where's it? Oh, damn it. Yeah. Captain, oh, it's not Captain America, damn it. I was going to say Avengers. That's where I love you 3000 came from. Nice. So,
oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's funny.
Yeah. So now we've got the, we want it so that it scales up a little bit, right? So the way we do that is we target the video card and we say on hover, transform scale of like, this is basically saying 9%.
Oh.
Yeah.
Makes it, okay, 9% bigger once you hover over. I see.
Yeah, you
Beautiful.
see that? But again, we hate that snappy behavior. So how do we get it smooth and silky? We say transition, and we say transform. So make the transform 100 milliseconds. And if I don't pass in like an ease in, ease out or something, by default, I think it does ease in, right? So if I go ahead and do that, hey, look at that.
Beautiful.
Really clean, right? Yeah, so like now you see you got the same behavior.
So you put the ease in animation instead of the 100 milliseconds?
So yeah, no, so you'd put that in here. So
oh, you said it was default. I see.
Yeah, so I think by default it does ease in, I think. But I'm not 100% sure. But either way, it like these are all, this is actually something I learned in my last job. They're very, very subtle changes, but they do make a difference. So if we use ease in, for example, it actually, for this example, guys, leave it out because it's actually the perfect one. That's the actual natural behavior that you want. So we're just saying take 100 milliseconds when you do that scale. Nice. So with that said, we're going to add some padding to the H2. So where it says movie title. So let's go ahead and do that. We say video card, direct child, H2. It added that tiny bit of padding right over here. So you see that padding right in this gap here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say for the, okay. Yeah. So the next step, I guess, is actually, So now what I want to show you guys is if we actually render a few of these, right? How do we get that responsiveness going on? Like, so how do we get it so that we see it as we see it here? So whenever we make it smaller, you see it actually works perfectly responsive. And look how perfect that is. Like on a phone, and you'll be amazed at how easy it is to get that, right? So the way we do that is, let's go ahead and go to results.js. So let's go to our results.js, and you see here, guys, we have a container called results, right? So we're going to go to our results.css, target the results, and basically before we do that, I'm going to go back into results, and just to stress test it, I'm going to basically render out like a bunch of video cards, right? So now this is how like we would see a bunch of, and right now if I make this bigger, you see it doesn't do anything fancy with it.
That was so fast, by the way. Wow.
Crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like you see, it doesn't do anything fancy with this right now, right? But it just kind of looks a bit like, could look a little better. So we go back to results.css, and over here, let's see if we, now 3 lines of code, guys, 3 lines of code, and we will get this right here, what you see here. We're going to get this to look like this, like in pretty much nearly like this, right? 3 lines of code.
We're at 958 likes, guy. Oh my god. Closer than I thought.
I think if you guys
That's
are
insane.
impressed with this next part, so if we do 3 lines of code and we get this right, I think let's push that number straight to 1,000. Right?
Let's go.
Let's do it. So here what we do is we say display flex, number 1. So that's the first line of code. Now it's inside of a row, right? And you see everything's kind of messed up. It's like, whoa, we've got this white space saying everything's broken. And then what we do is we say flex wrap, right? Flex wrap. And then you can see the likes coming up. We're at 978. 978.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's 2 lines of code. And we say wrap. And if we do that, okay. Now if we make this a bit bigger, you can see, look, okay, it actually wraps. But it's not.
Oh, wow.
But it's not centered, right? So it's not centered. And then what we do is we say justify content center. Boom, dude. That's it.
Whoa. Let's go. I love it because you only have to do it once, and now you can see it in all of the other images. So all the other images have the hover on functionality. It has the zooming in, or the, what is it called? The 100 millisecond and the 9%.
Yeah.
Higher or bigger picture.
This
as
one.
you hover on top of it. Yep, exactly. Yep.
And guys, like that was so slick. Like 3 lines of code. And now look at this, it's completely responsive. So even if you're on a tablet and you're looking at this, like, okay, perfect user experience. If I go into a phone, like as in a smaller device, okay, thing works perfectly. If I go into a desktop, it's going to maximize the potential use. And even if it gets bigger than this, so I've got a huge ultra wide in front of me, it will just use up as much room as it can. It'll just wrap around and it'll stay centered. And with that said, we just hit 1,000. Like,
let's go.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about,
Thank you
dude.
guys so much, man. With those 3 lines of code, you guys helped us reach the 1K likes on this video. Thank you guys so much. Let's get to 1.5K now. That's the new benchmark.
That's it. 1.5K new goal, guys. New goal. Nice. So we have the video card over here, right? Which is awesome. And now what we're going to do is, okay, this is nice, right? We pretty much have everything out, but we
much grid too. That's amazing.
Yeah, we have like everything on the visual side of things kind of done here, right? But we want to basically get to a point now where we can pull this data in, right? So from TMDB. So let's get involved in that stuff now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a file called requests.js, right? So request.js, and this is going to be primarily for any request that we make to, let me just quickly change this. Let me go to here. So this is going to be for any request that we make to the TMDB API. So you see it's a movie API. I remember earlier on we showed you, if you go into your profile settings and then you go over here, oh, oops, not this one. You go over here to API. All you want to do is click on that, and then you'll be able to generate a key somewhere down here, and you'll basically be able to use that, and everything will work and you'll get your key, right? So you want to get hold of your key. Oops, that's it. There we go. You get hold of your key. So with that said, what we're going to do to get ourselves prepared so that everything works correctly, we need to go to request dot requests maybe dot js, right? And it's not capital R because this is not a component, right? So this is not a component that we're using here. Now, what you want to do is you want to have const API key, right? And basically, guys, I want you to paste your key here. Okay, so I want you guys to paste your key. So this is going to be your key that you guys were able to get over here. So inside of API and TMDB, completely free, you just need to paste your key. Okay, so go ahead and paste your key. And then what we're going to do next is we're actually going to go ahead and I'll make this a little bit bigger now because this is a very important part. So, and look at that, it nicely just behaved itself. Nice, that's awesome. So here what we're going to say export default because we're going to export a list, like basically an object, right? So we're going to say, we're going to have a bunch of exports here that are going to basically reach out to certain endpoints on that TMDB server, right? So TMDB provides something called an API, right? And an API, if we want to make it very quick and simple, we say TMDB API like this. And basically what it is it's basically just like a server that they have running. And what we can do is we can send requests saying, hey, give me all the films that are inside that are like the action films. Give me all the films that are the comedy films. Give me all the films that are the sci-fi films. And with that, you can pretty much go ahead and get everything that you kind of need working, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to show an example of the first one. So this is an example of the first API call. So the endpoint pretty much is /trending /all, then it's /week, and then you start putting in the parameters. So here it will say API key equals, and notice we're using back quotes. So these are not normal quotes. So normal quotes are this. We're using backticks. So these backticks, and that allows you to do JavaScript string interpolation, so we can actually use our API key value inside here. So
wow.
All right, so that will actually be super handy. So at this point, it will replace here, and it'll just say your key. But you'd want to put your key here. So imagine you had a key which was like some gibberish like this or something. That's going to be your key, and then that'll go ahead in here, right? So you want to do that. And this is going to be the first one. And what this allows us to do now is it allows me to basically, rather than using this ugly string, I can do something like this in the future. I can just say request.fetch trending. And that will actually represent this nasty string with my API key inside of it. Okay.
Beautiful.
So I'm going to basically pop in a bunch of the other ones that we have here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do the following. So I'm going to say, we've got these ones over here now. So I'm going to go through all of them.
Now you're going to fetch top rated, actions, comedy, all of these, right?
Exactly.
Beautiful.
So you've got top rated, and I will go through this list so that way at any point, you guys, what I would say is just pause it here and you could pretty much write these out. And I'll explain them quickly. So we've got fetch top rated. Again, this is the endpoint top rated. It's got an API key, and it's saying the US English ones, which that's the language we selected. Then it's saying the action films, and you can see with these ones like action, comedy, horror, the genres that they have for some reason that this is how they've set it up. So the action movie genre is code 28. The comedy movies is 35, horror movies 27. Now you don't really need to know too much about how they got these numbers or whatever. You just need to know that that's the one for those ones. So you can go ahead and just copy that, and that will work perfectly. David Mwangi says, can I use an M file? Yes, you can use an M file. Yeah, I would actually recommend, if you know how to use M files, go ahead and use an M file, and that will work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it as this for now. And what I'll do is I'll pop in my key when we actually come to use this. So nice. So with that said, we've done the first part, right? So we've set up our requests in a way that's good. The next part is let's go ahead and create a file called axios.js. Right, axios.js. Now, some of you might know what Axios is. It's essentially a library that we use to make requests to any sort of server or API endpoint, right? Now, somebody says, perfect timing, Tech Hut just said, why didn't you use Axios instead of Fetch? We are using Axios today here. So we've used Fetch in previous videos. Today I thought let's mix it up and let's use Axios. Axios is pretty much, let me go ahead and show you guys very quickly what Axios is. It's essentially just a very popular promise-based HTTP client for JavaScript, and basically it's very, very well known. And you can basically make a request to, like for example here, that you can make a request to an endpoint, and it will come back with the response, and it will also give you an error if anything went wrong. So it's very
beautiful.
Very powerful stuff.
So Axios is handling the requests from that we're trying to get from the API, the TMDB API, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that's exactly what it's doing. So in order to install it, it's very simple. We just say import, npm I or install. The shorthand is npm I, and you can say axios like that. We can go ahead and we can pretty much do that. And you see it's super quick to install that. There you go. And we can drop the terminal down with Command J. And then we can say import Axios from Axios. Now, some of you guys might have used Axios before, and you might be wondering, oh, I know this bit. I know this stuff. But stay tuned, because this one right here, actually, I didn't even know this trick. So this is a very little handy trick that I'm about to show you. So what you can do is you can make an instance of Axios. So that way, whenever you make a GET request or something, you don't have to include the beginning of the sort of URL. So sometimes it's kind of annoying to have the beginning. The way we do it is we say this. We say const instance equals Axios. And then you say create. And then basically you just set the base URL to whatever it is. So in this case, this is the API URL. So what this means is when we make those requests that we sent earlier, we'll basically be appending the base URL to the beginning of this. So it would be like this. You see it turned into a link, right? So it's HTTP API, and then for this one, it'll basically be this. And then for this one, it'll basically be this. You see? So that's what we're doing, but we're trying to make it...
Oh, I see now. That's insane, man. I love it.
It's clean, right? And then you don't have to always do it. Instead, you just say axios.get. And because you set
this, it's facing the URL inside of or in the front of those requests, right?
Exactly.
Man, that's amazing.
It's
mind-blowing.
Really powerful stuff. And then here you say export default instance, like this. Export default instance. Save it, and we've got Axios set up to the point that we need it. Okay. So now what we can do is let's go over to our video. Let's go over to our results. Let's go to results. This one here. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to have essentially, rather than mapping it out like this, we're going to have we only want to show one thing, right? We want to show like one, we basically want to have something like this. We want to say movies.map, and then we basically want to say go through every single movie inside of like this movies array and just render out all the video cards. So something like this. Yeah.
Beautiful. We just got a donation by Supra. Thank you so much, man.
Nice.
He says, much appreciated of you guys. I love React.js a lot. More videos down lane, he says. Hope to have a convo with you soon.
Amazing.
Definitely, man.
Thank you so much, dude. Massively
so much.
Appreciate that. Mike, Corsi, you guys are absolute legends. We love you guys. Honestly, the support today has been insane, guys. So like really massive. Love that. Right.
It's what feeds us. It's what keeps us going, guys. Thank you so much. Always drop the love in the comments below, and then let's keep on moving. Thank you, guys.
Definitely. Nice. So now let's go ahead and so we want something like this. You see it says movies.map, but now it's saying, hang on, movies isn't defined, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to use something called state. Okay, so here the way we do it is we say const, and then we're going to say movies, and this is basically state is basically how you write a variable inside of React. So you say set movies, and this is how you're going to modify the movies, and you say use state. So this is a hook. This is something what we call a hook. And what I just did there is I done an auto import. So I've imported it at the top here. And the initial value of this is going to be an empty array, because movies, we want it to be an empty array in the beginning. Okay. So the cool part now is you can see if I do results, you see like it doesn't render out a video card because there's nothing to loop through, right? But if I added like 2 elements in this array, let's just say 1 and 2, it will map through it twice, and then it'll just render out 2 video cards. So if I do that, see how it maps out 2 video cards. If I add a third, it maps out a third video card. Yeah. But look at it, but this doesn't actually provide any data. It's just showing you proof that it's actually mapping through the array that we just set up, right? So initially we want it to be blank. Now, this is where the magic happens. This is where we connect the API to our React front end, and we pull in all of that beautiful stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's go. So then it's going to pull up the exact number of, the items inside of the array that the list provides. As if, for example, if you click top rated, then the array is going to populate with, let's say there was 10 top rated movies.
Yep.
So that's going to be the size of that array.
Yeah, exactly. That'll be the size of that array. I also see David Johnson says, how did you do that auto import? So let's go ahead and show you quickly. So imagine if you didn't import it, you could either do control space at the end, and you go to, you see the first one's a snippet, the second one's auto import. Boom, you get it there. That also happens when you're typing sometimes, so it will pop up with you. So nice little tip. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use the use effect hook, right? So use effect. So use effect, I can use a snippet there, but I want to show you guys how to write it. So use effect, you basically, someone said Google should hire you.
Yeah, I saw it.
Nice.
I mean, Google, you're missing out.
Yeah, Google should sponsor us, I think. That would be awesome.
I know, right?
Yeah.
After that Google build.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So now a use effect takes a function, right? And it takes something called dependencies. Now, inside of here, if we leave this blank, what this is saying is it's saying run this code once when the results component or whatever component you're inside of loads, right? Or mounts. Yeah. So once it loads or mounts, run this code once. Yeah. So it doesn't do it after that, right? So it only does it then. If I do this, it means every time it re-renders, every time the results component loads or mounts. So that every time it re-renders, that's when this happens. But if I do this, it says only run it once, right? So when it loads. Now, if I pass the dependency in here, so say if I pass something like name, it will run it once when the component loads, and it will also run it every time the name changes. We just got another donation from Manav Aurora. He says, you're doing really good work.
Amazing.
Really creative, man. Thank you, dude.
Guys, we're at $81 on chat donations, super chat donations. Thank you guys so much. Let's reach that $100 mark. Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Exactly. Thank you so much, guys. Amazing stuff. Right, so if we get rid of this, and then we've got here video card. Nice. So now what we're going to do is we're going to actually do a very clever piece of code inside of here. So we're going to do something called an async function, right? So in order to run anything asynchronous, and when I say asynchronous, what I mean here, guys, is anything that involves like sending some information out to a server and pulling it in after, as in like pulling it in. So whenever we sort of go to a server and grab some information, it's going to have a delay. There's going to be some kind of delay, right? So here, what we do is we say async. If you ever want to run an async inside of a function, do this. You say async. Oh, oops, async. Why can't I spell today? Yeah, async function, and say fetch data like this.
Woo, another donation by William Cruz, CHF 5.
Oh,
thank
nice.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. We've actually seen you in other live streams, man. So thank you so much for, being regular here. And yeah, man, stay tuned. We're going to continue doing these almost daily.
Yeah, amazing.
Pretty much daily at this point.
Yeah.
Actually.
Also, I think CH5 is more than $5, right?
Yeah, I think it was, wasn't it francs? Swiss francs? I think so.
Yeah,
so that's amazing.
Nice. We just got another donation.
Thank you so much, William.
Jagadish. Thank you, dude.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate
you. Also, guys, yeah, I see this a lot. I said, if you love clever programmers, go vote for us at Hackanoon Top Programming Guru Award. That would be insane, guys. So if you do love the channel, you love the live streams, you appreciate the content we push out, all we ask is that you smash the thumbs up button and go ahead and click that link and vote for us in those awards, because it'll be awesome. Like it's more motivation to do this. Nice. Yeah, hopefully we can win, man. We've been putting out a lot of energy, a lot of work for you guys. Hopefully you guys can get a lot of value from this. And if you are enjoying this value, go into that link that Leif Warp 9 Paint 9 is dropping in the description in the actual chat. So go into that link right now and vote for us if you guys are finding value for this. Thank you. Exactly. Thank you so much, guys. Nice. So we've got the fetch data function right here. And then what we would eventually do is we'd just say, to use it, you just say fetch data. So here you would just say fetch data like this, right? Now, obviously it's not doing anything at this point, but this is where we do the magic. So here we say const request equals, and we say await, because we're saying wait for the response to come back. David Jonathan just voted. Thank you so much, dude. So we say await, and then basically here's where we use axios. But typically when you use axios, you do this. You say import axios from axios like this. But because we just set it up in our local directory, we're going to go ahead and pull it from our local. So this one here, axios, right? Now, what we do now is we say await axios dot get, and this is the clever part, right? So remember earlier we set up, like if we do axios dot get, remember it automatically uses that base URL that we just set up. So it's really, really going to be powerful to do, right? Oh, nice. I can see loads of people voting. This is awesome. Thank you, guys.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for voting.
That's awesome. Yeah. Nice. So we've got await.get. And then what we can do is we basically need to do, so let's just test it out. So let's just say requests. So let's go into our requests, and it automatically imported. Oh no, it didn't import the request. Let's go ahead and import that. So import requests from requests like this, and request dot. And then you'll see as soon as I do that, it gives me all the like action movies, animation. So let's go ahead and use action movies as an example. Right. Then what I'm going to do is just to prove to you guys that this is working or doing something, I'm going to say console log request. Right. So this is what I recommend you guys could do as well to see that it's working. And it says use effect is not defined. So we can go here and do import, and it imports it at the top over here. Save it. Go back. And now you can see if we open up the inspector, go to the console, and it says server responded with a 401. That's because I didn't put my key in, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly go into my
Oh, we got a $10 donation by Chris Connor.
Oh,
keep up the good work,
dude.
Thank you so much. Whoa, we're at $98 super chat. Woo!
Let's
Thank you guys
go,
so much.
guys. That's insane. Thank you so
Appreciate
much, dude. That's insane. Thank you so much. Damn, dude, the energy today is on fire. I love this.
Everybody's showing some love.
Yeah,
Thank you.
this is amazing, guys. Right. Oh, look at this. Kyle Johnson just said, I just jumped on this stream after finishing the Instagram clone video. Every time Sonny says, now this is the clever part, my mind gets blown.
Let's go. I actually thought about that too.
Nice. Thank you so much, Kyle. All right, so now we've got this. So we got a 401, right? So if I go to my request.js, and you see here the key. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch the screen out, and I'm going to replace the key in with my key. So you would be doing this with the key that you guys got from TMDB. So boom, I pop in my key, and we go back to, let's close that one. Let's go back to the results. So we are back. There we go. So now if I save it and I refresh, oh, you can actually see it worked. So if I refresh, it says the results. So here we actually console logged the request. So you see this one, we console logged the response. I should actually call it response because it's what we're getting. And you can see here, we've got the data, right? So now this is the interesting part. So inside of data, so this is what I would do, guys. Whenever you make any API call or do anything like that, I actually like to log out the stuff, right? I like to log out the response because I don't actually always trust the API doc. So I like to see what are they actually giving back. And I recommend you guys do it too, because I've ran into situations where the API docs are out of date and you're like, whoa, I didn't think developers did this, but they do a lot. So you want to do data.results, and then you can see now in the results we get all of the videos, right? So this is like, look, Project Power, and this is actually this one right here. So you see Project Power. So you can see that's the first one, and then you've got the second one, which is Tenet. So you see Tenet right here. You got the third one, which is another one. Whoa, we just got another donation from Deepak. It says, please start React Native clone series. Guys, we have everything coming. We have a MERN stack videos. We will be starting a React Native series. Don't worry, we'll keep it coming. Yeah, we got you guys. We got you.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Give us a little bit of time,
Exactly. That's it. Well, we just got another donation from Akshay Kotish. Appreciate that, dude. Thank you so much.
Wow, we just crossed the $100 mark, guys.
Hey,
let's go.
I think that's Tego Diallo. Nice. That's awesome, so dude. Thank you so much, guys. All right, so now let's continue on. So we get the response back, right? So what I want to do is with that response, I want to basically capture those requests, the results. So I'm going to set the movies to the request dot data dot results, because that's this list that we see right here, right? So inside the results. Now, what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to say return request, right? And that will basically jump out of that async function, and it does what we need to do. Okay, so this one is always going to get the action movies, right? So we're going to make a change here afterwards, but it's always, for now, it's always going to get the action movies. So I'm going to save that, and I'm going to close this, and there you go. So now it's loading out as many action movies as they're actually returning, but it doesn't look like that. All we see is profit with JavaScript, right? So link is in the description if you want to check it out.
Thank you guys so much. If you guys are enjoying this content, really, you're going to get a lot of value from Profit with JavaScript. It's the second link in the description below. If you don't want to check out the sales page, we do got the 1 hour free training for you guys that can actually help you become a profitable JavaScript developer. So check that out, guys.
Exactly. This is in the description, guys. Make sure you check it out. Free training. So even like these videos, everything that's free is awesome. So really nice. So so now we've got the movies being updated, right? But we need to basically pass that movie into the actual component. So right here, we're not actually passing it in. So to get that working, I'm just going to say movie equals movie. And basically what we're doing here, just to explain, so remember we pulled in those movies from that response. Then now this is an array of those results, right? What we're going to say is we're mapping through, and each of the movie items, so every time we iterate through it, it's going to give us a new movie item. We're saying go to the video card component and basically just pass in that movie as a prop. So jump inside a video card. We need to save that. Jump inside a video card and we get the movie here. Now what we can do here is we can actually do some clever stuff now. We can go in here and we can say for the movie title, rather than just saying movie title, we can actually go ahead and do the following. So firstly, let's actually change the images, right? Because the images are going to be the most apparent thing to change. So we're going to go ahead, grab this, change this to our JSX, and then we're going to say, for the images, by the way, they give us like the end of a URL, right? So they give us the end of a URL, but the end of the URL isn't everything. So obviously any link has some kind of base URL. For the images, this is the base URL that you're going to need to use. They don't tell you this in the API very easily, so you have to dig deep. So just save the time and use this one that I show you. So this is going to be the base URL. And then here what you say is, let's just use backticks and let's just say base URL. So base underscore URL. So base URL. And then we're going to say, base URL. And then we're going to say movie dot. And it's called backdrop path, right? So some films have a backdrop path. So if I save this, boom, look at that. We start getting some of the films in.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
So you can see it's actually working, right? Like it's actually pulling in the films and it's actually like showing that on the screen, which is awesome.
Pulling the images. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pulling in the images, which is nice. So that's working. But some films, guys, don't actually provide a backdrop path. So what we can do instead is say, if they don't have that, so if there isn't a backdrop path, go ahead and try and find the movie. Oh, damn it. Go ahead and try and find the movie dot poster path. So I saved you a bunch of time and I went ahead and I looked for that. So some of the movies which didn't have a backdrop path had something called poster path. So this is how you used to say, this is just saying either use this if you can find it or fall back to this. And you can actually keep on chaining. So you can say after that, if they don't have that, use this, or you can put a placeholder there if they didn't, which would be kind of a clean solution. And there's another one actually. So there's poster path. So it's just poster path. Nice. And then here we can just say movie, let's just say movie poster alternative, something like that. Right, so this is awesome. So look at that, we get everything pulling in, starting to look really clean. If we make this a bit full screen, you see, oh, look at that, it's starting to get there, right? So now what we can do is, for the p tag, I'm going to change it to basically this p tag. We're going to make this p tag kind of like powerful in what it can do, right? So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to do some JSX. I'm going to say show the movie release date or the first air date, right? So show like the movie release date or the first date, because this is what they do in their one. So I'm going to say show that or show that, right? So if we save it, you'll see it shows the, oh, sorry, this is not the right one that I need to do it on. This is actually the wrong one. This one should be the film. This is the overview. For the overview, we have movie overview. So here. So this one is actually, movie overview. So if I save that, you now see like you get a nice long overview of the films. Okay. And then you can see if we go to, but notice guys that this is something I want to show you. So these movie overviews, look at that. They're just way too long, right? Like you never see this on the website. It's always like truncated. So you get this ... Right. Now I'm going to show you how you truncate. Right. So truncate is the process of basically when something's too long, or if something goes over one line, then you can basically truncate. So you just add that ... right? Which gives a much nicer experience than this, because like this is just ugly right now. Yeah. It's too much going on. So we are going to install something over here, and we're going to install something called React Text Truncate. So you need to go into your terminal. So let's go into our terminal. Let's go here and let's do npm I, and it's React Text Truncate. So we're going to install that. And while that's installing, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the top and we're going to go import text truncate from React Text Truncate. We're basically going to pop this in instead of our p tag. So I'm going to replace the p tag. I'm going to have both so I can show you the example. And what this is saying is it takes some props. It says if it goes over one line, basically choose an element which is a p tag. This is the text that I want to sort of render. And once it goes over one line, truncate it with this 3 dots.
Oh,
yeah.
So you could choose anything pretty much if you want.
Yeah, exactly.
You could be like 1, 2, 3 or anything you want.
Exactly. And I'll show you that actually in here. So now if we get rid of that and we do this, now you'll see, look at that. After it goes past one line. And if we change this to 2 lines, it truncates after 2 lines.
Beautiful.
So really, really powerful stuff here. And like if you do that, and like Frankie said, if you want to change this to like 1, 2, 3, you see it says 1, 2, 3 at the end of it.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is like the power of using like code.
So that's why even some apps actually show parentheses learn more, right? And you can actually click on it if you do want to see more. So you can handle it different ways. So that's a great way.
That's a really good thing Frankie just said. I think that actually made me want to show the actual demo. So React Text Truncate, when you actually use it, gives you another functionality, which is actually exactly what Frankie just said. And what you can do is you can say text truncate child, right, like this, and like this, go ahead and do this. And this will actually be like an anchor tag, which is like read on. So if I say,
wow, that's a little link. Nice.
Hey, look at that. And it actually goes there.
Wow.
That's cool, right? And you could probably get that link from the API, and that would actually give you the read on functionality. So
I like that.
See, Frankie's already in the right headspace with that. So like they thought of that as well, and then they, I think it's really handy thing, because actually truncating something like this is a little bit harder. In CSS you can do it, but there is a bit of a sort of annoying side to it that I've experienced personally. You use something called ellipsis, but it's kind of annoying to do that. Okay, so now what we're doing is, guys, I see somebody says, I don't know actually know what's going on. So we're plugging in the movie title and the number of likes from the API. So we've done the pictures and the description. The movie title is very simple. We're actually going to say either get the movie title or the original name. So here, the movie title or the original name. Let's go ahead and save that. Now you can see Project Power, Tenet, Sleepover, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Rogue. Nice. All right, so everything's working. And for the p tag, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do the following. So the first thing is I want to do a movie vote count. So here I'm going to say this is the vote count. So this is the number of votes. So you can see 727, 34, 49, and so forth. So that's really cool. And what we can do is I'm going to use a logo from Material UI, so an icon from Material UI. And this one's called the thumbs up sharp icon. So let's go ahead and import that. Thumbs up sharp. And down here, what we can do is we can actually go ahead and do this. We can say thumbs up sharp like this inside of our p tag. And now we should see, it's probably compiling, but we should see in a second that there'll be a thumbs up and then it'll say 34, which signifies that it's likes that we're talking about, right? So it should be very clear, and it should be up in a second. And then what we're going to do is we want it so that when we have the we can have the movie type. So in some cases the movie type isn't available. So here what I'm going to say is I'm going to say only show the movie type and then the little black dot if it's available. So here only show if you have the media type available, only then show the media type and then render a little black dot next to it. And the black dot's a sort of separator that we're using, okay? So let me see what's going on here. So let's go ahead and go to node. It says compiling. So I'm going to cancel it, do npm start. Sometimes it can get hung. So you can get a little bit hung up. Nice.
So we got, it says, Nano says there's a Vue.js truncate library also.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Full library for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of libraries like in React and Angular, Vue. It's even just pure JavaScript libraries like Node.js libraries that you can use. A lot of this stuff has been built previously. So what I would say is rather than sort of rewriting everything, just go ahead and use something if you can. Sometimes. I don't always do that. Nice. So, I mean, while this is starting up, I don't know why that's taking extra long for some reason, but it should come in soon. So we're going to say if there's media there, have that as well. And then I'm also going to say, oh, so there we go. Should pop in now. Hey, there we go. We got the likes, right?
Beautiful.
So it's really clean. And now what we're going to say is next to the likes, show either the release date or the first air date, right? And then actually render that little black dot after that. So we're always going to show this one. So I'm going to render that little black dot. And now you actually see like a little sort of black dot pop up there. And we're going to actually style this so it looks very nice. Just for simplicity purposes, as we have two p tags, we have one up here and one over here. I'm going to give this one a class name. So when we style it, I can access it very easily. So I'm going to go here and go ahead and give this a class name. This one's going to be video card stats. So let's go ahead and do this, video card stats. Save it. And with that said, I'm going to now make this look, I mean, it's already looking pretty good, to be fair. I mean,
it's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's just, we just have to target the video card stats. So video card, go over here and let's go ahead and go to your video card stats. Nice. And what I'm going to say is, oh, that's it. Yeah. So for this one, we actually want to make it so that, so right now it's actually kind of squished together. Whereas in the final, in this build, it's not fully squished together. It's a little bit bigger, right? So in order to get it looking like that, we're going to basically go ahead and say, we didn't actually change the font size. Okay, strange. But basically what I want to do is, I don't want to show it all the time, right? I don't want to show that all the time. We want it to be essentially just showing when you hover over it. So how do we do that? We say, by default, hide the video stats, right? So hide the video card stats. So by default, hide the video card stats. If I save that, you'll see it's disappeared now, right? It's disappeared. It's not there. And then what we're going to say is, okay, when you hover over the video card, so when we
hey, I love that.
What's that?
I love that functionality.
Yeah.
I love that functionality, the hover functionality. It's so clean.
Yeah, it's nice, right? Yeah. We're saying now when we hover over it, target the video cover stats and basically change it to display inline. So what this does is, simple as that, boom. And you get that functionality.
Nice.
You just get that functionality just like that. Right, which is awesome. Like, it's really clean. It's really nice. And I think what we'll do here is I'm just going to add a space manually, or like here. Let's add some spaces. Oh, it's prettyfying it. That's why. That's fine. Okay. So for now,
adding that little bullet point is adding spaces.
No. So I added a manual space here. But this,
I
it's just like a little breaker. You see, like in the actual thing, it's like a little sort of just a separator. So that's the only reason why I added that little thing. That's because I used it in the actual build as well. But this is nice now, guys, because look, you're not spammed with those extra details except when you hover over it. So, okay, you see this one's got 34 likes. Okay, this must be a decent film. But let's go to like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's 5,000 likes. So this must be a better film, right? And then Avengers Infinity War just takes it to a different level, yeah? Like, so you can see like you've got like a very nice UI now. And we're almost there, right? But when we click these, nothing's happening, right? Nothing's happening. But what we want is, we want it to be like this. So when I click like comedy, it goes ahead, renders comedy. If I click this, you get this nice sort of functionality, right? So this is where we need to sort of step out a bit and adjust our code tad just a little bit, right? So let's go back to our results, right? So our results.js. Now inside of results.js, what we did previously is we said always get the action movies, right? But what we want to do is we want to customize the results so that it takes a prop called selected option, right? Selected options.
Ooh. That gets it from the actual navbar?
Yeah, exactly. So this is going to be we're basically going to pass something from the navbar, and we're going to like basically this will be that value, right? So we're just going to say selected option goes here, right? Oops, selected option like this, right? Now, if we save this now, you'll see that it has nothing because it doesn't have a selected option, which means that the request basically gets nothing back, right? But this is good for what we want, right? This is good for now. So what we can do is we go back to app.js, and you can see here, this is where we have the three main components that we spoke about earlier. Now, at the app level, this is where I was saying, don't overcomplicate it, guys. Like, don't overcomplicate by introducing React Context API and stuff like that just for this build. I'm going to show you how you can just use state to get the desired effect we want. So, that exact same selected option, I'm going to go ahead and create a piece of state here. And I'm going to say const selected option. And I'm going to say here, set selected option. Like this, and then here I'm going to say use state, right? So we're using a piece of state here, and by default I'm going to give this an empty string, right? Empty string here. Now it says use state is not defined, so I'm going to go ahead and do our little import trick. Boom, I imported it at the top, and we should be able to now see still blank, right? Still blank. So why is this happening? So firstly, we need to pass the selected option as the prop down to results. It's still blank. Why is it still blank? Because remember, it doesn't have anything to fetch from, right? So what we need to do is we need to say the first value should be, for example, like results.fetch trending, for example. Right? So this is going to say the first value should be request.fetch trending. So now when it loads, the first thing it does is it has that request.fetch trending, which is actually that one right here. So you see where it's like /trending with the API key and stuff, right? So that's the initial value, which means that when you come onto the app, it's going to get you the trending one first, which is actually makes sense because it's the first value here, right?
Yep, that's beautiful. And you got to make it easy for your users too, So it would be better for your website to show the trending movies so that they can get an idea of, what else is there, what's popular right now. And then from there, they can choose, going into comedy, going into action, and, it gives you a good insight.
Exactly. So now what we can do to sort of make this nicer is we can go to the navbar, and we can actually pass in this modifier. So many people don't know you can actually pass a modifier as a prop. So here the navbar is going to get a prop called set selected option. So here we pass in this, and this will allow us to change the state of that selected option, right? Now what we can do is inside of the nav, what we can actually say is on the click. So for example here, I can say on click, fire off a function, and then this function is going to be set the selected option.
Whoa, that's mind-blowing, man. That's awesome.
It's powerful, right? Sure. And then here we're going to say
you're wrapping up or putting that set select option inside of the H2 tags.
Yeah, exactly. So we're passing it through, and then now what's happening is, if I just make this sort of bigger so we can see it on one line, you can see now, so when we click this one, it's going to set the selected option to the fetch trending, right? And because this is the modifier for that piece of state up in app.js, this selected option now changes, which means that this one gets fed a different URL, right? So it's a very, very
That's mind-blowing, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's super clean. Exactly, super clean. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to do another one, which says set it to top rated, fetch top rated. So set to fetch top rated, save it. And now, just to prove that this works, guys, before I do the rest of them. So you see here, it says, hang on, in results.js, React hook use effect is missing a dependency select option. Very important line here, right? Super important line. Remember when we changed the selected option over here, right? Because this is a parameter outside of the use effect, right? We have to say it's a dependency because this use effect depends on this variable which comes from outside. So it's basically saying that like if this variable changes, you now need to update this code because you can't keep running the old one. React, you have to tell it what it's dependent on. So this one is dependent on selected options. Now if I save this, you'll see the warning will disappear. Yeah. And with that said, what we can do is we can actually go ahead and test this. We can go ahead and go here. And now if I click on top rated, hey. So now
let's go.
So look at that, trending, top rated, right? Now,
wow.
Now you can see it's a little bit glitchy though, right? It's a little bit kind of like, I mean, it looks a little bit weird how it's swapping him out. It
takes a little bit to refresh, huh?
Yeah, like it's a little bit weird how it swaps them out. And obviously I'll do these ones afterwards, but this initial thing is a bit like, why is it a little bit kind of glitchy? And the reason why it's glitchy is because when we actually map them out, we should be passing something called a key, right? Now, each movie has an ID. So the key should be, this is a React thing. And this is basically telling React, when this big list of things re-renders, is everything unique or is it like, how can I identify? If you don't pass a key, React kind of goes like, oh my God, okay, I'm just going to re-render the entire list because I don't know what's going on. But if you pass a key in, it knows that, okay, this is the same component. I don't need to change that one. This one, okay, this one's changed. I need to change that one. So you see like, it changes a little bit. So here I'm going to say the movie ID is the key. So if we save that now and do this, now you should be able to notice that it will be a little bit slicker. So you see like it doesn't have that jarry glitchiness to it.
It paces itself.
It just swaps the entire thing out, right? And you see, and what it does there is it actually does some very clever caching under the hood, right? So under the hood now, you see like now when it loads, it doesn't have to reload the images because it actually caches them in a local memory and it loads it super nicely. As you see, like once it loads it once, it just snaps in, right? So what we can do now is we can finish off the implementation of the additional endpoints. So we can go to we can go to nav.
And by the way, guys, we just reached 1.1k likes. Thank you guys so much, man. We just keep growing. It's insane.
Thank you
guys. CP fam. We love you.
Honestly, the support today has been unreal. So like really, really crazy stuff. Nice. So now what I'm going to do is...
Feels really feed them.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and copy an entire snippet that I have right here. And I will pause it on the screen so you guys can see it. All I'm doing is I'm adding on clicks to everything here. So just showing you guys so you can see. You've got the trending and you can just pause the video and see as you do it. And here you can see we've got the select options. And we're just fetching different endpoints. You see, like because we set everything up in the beginning, this is why our code is maintainable. It's very easy to understand what's going on here. Right, it's very easy to understand that like, okay, this is doing this. And you can see inside of requests, like you can see all the exports, right? So it's really, really powerful way of doing things. And it uses our API key, which is awesome, right? So if we save this now, go back over here and we make this one full screen. Now, if I do, for example, romance, horror, mystery, you see this, everything works. Like we've got a full app that's just working super nice, super responsive. Now, everything's a bit snappy right now. Right, whereas in this app, you see everything kind of has that little animation. Yeah, and that animation kind of is like a finishing touch. It makes it like, well, okay, this is an app, not just a website.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
What
is it called or what?
So this is called React Flip Kit, right? I'm sure it's React Flip Kit. So we call this React Flip Kit, and the way we basically do this is I will show you guys. So we basically, I think it's called React Flip Kit. Yeah, and this is a extremely React Flip toolkit, I think it is. Yeah, maybe. Yes, this one. React Flip toolkit. And this is basically a very powerful way of re-rendering lists, okay? Now, no, it's not this one. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
Is it? No, it's not that one.
It looks similar.
Yeah, I think it's similar to that one, yeah. But this one is actually React Flip Move. React Flip Move, yeah. So the one that we're looking for is this one, React Flip Move. Now over here, this is effortless animation, and it is effortless animation. You just need to learn how to do it once, and you do it very well. So what we're going to do is we're going to install it. So to install it, we need to do npm I react flip move. And you don't need to do -save anymore. So -s. We can actually just go ahead and do this. So here we can do Command J to bring it up. Go to our second terminal. Go up here. We say npm I react flip move. That will install react flip move into our project. And then the first step is we need to we have a functional component, right? We have a functional component over inside of our video. Our video card is the thing that we want to animate, right? So the video card we're referring to is this. So this thing is what we want to animate, right? So what we need to do is we need to use something called a forward ref, right? Now in React, it's not as complicated as it sounds. All you need to do is follow my steps of what I'm doing right here, right? So you just need to, why is Keynote opening up on my laptop? What is going on? Okay, so now here I just need to go change this to ES6 arrow function. So I say const video card equals like this, an arrow. And you can see like everything works the exact same. Nothing broke, nothing changed. And then we need to do something called, we need to add a forward ref. Now, all the forward ref is doing, to make it very simple, simply put, is in plain HTML, we can refer to elements by using something called references. We can say this is this. Imagine it's like a big pointer, right? It's what tells like the browser that this is this item, this is this item. So in this case, we need to add something called a forward ref. We import it from React at the top. And basically all you need to do is add a opening bracket here. So opening bracket over here, scroll down, go to your ending curly brace and add an opening bracket around that. And then at the top, next to your props destructuring, you basically get this new property called a ref, right? Now this is basically like a big fat pointer. All it does is it points at stuff on your page, right? So imagine it's just something which is pointing at your page. Now we're just basically, all we need to do is attach this to the outer div for the video card. And that's all there is to basically getting the reference to that video card. So now React has a way of saying, this is this video card, this is this video card, this is this video card. Now, why is that important? Because the way that these guys implemented this to actually finish and to get everything working now, all we need to do is go to results.js. So let's go over to our results.js. We need to import flip move from React flip move because we just installed it from npm. So here we go, import flip move from React flip move. And then this is how crazy it is, guys. Like to get that animation, right? So this is before without the animation. So just to give you a quick demonstration, you can see it's very snappy. It looks like a website, right? It doesn't look like an app. It looks like a website. Now,
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but all we need to do now is add this. We add flip move like this, and I basically put this entire mapping inside of flip move. That's it. Because we have that forward ref and React knows how to point at which elements now. Now, if you see, okay, so this is, so you see, it actually works, right? It works really well, but something's clearly wrong, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the animation's there. The animation's really clean, right? It works really well, but it's put it into a list. And the reason why this has happened, guys, is because if we look at our code, right, we have results, right? We have results here in CSS, and we done display flex on results. Now we're wondering, why isn't this in a row? Because when we added the React flip move library, what it did is it actually added, so this is results, it added another div, which means that it is actually doing it, but now instead of targeting results, what we need to do is go ahead and target the following. We need to go ahead and say results, go inside that div that they added, and then do that. And now if we save it, yeah, we get this. And if we do comedy, it says click on comedy, or we're already on comedy, let's do horror. Hey, look at that.
Let's go.
That's awesome.
Damn, that's beautiful.
And now that looks like it. So we just took it with that one additional step from looking like a website to an actual app, right? So it's an actual sort of functional app. Whereas before it looked like an actual website, it just looked like a normal website. But now it's like this is the kind of thing you would see on like Amazon Prime. You know when you got those Prime,
Exactly.
yeah, when you got those when you're on your TV and you've got that little pointer that you sort of click on things and you know that
This would look amazing on TV, man. I love it.
yeah, this would be awesome on
Guys,
like a TV.
we are in 1,193 likes. We're about to break 1.2K likes. So hit that smash button if you guys really enjoy Sonny's styling abilities. This is insane, guys. I love how this looks. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, this has been awesome. Like, we actually got a comment from Knowledge itself saying it's amazing. Thank you so much. Just a bit of fun, yeah. Nice. So I think we actually got two people joined. When we watch, if you joined while you're watching this, let us know in the comments, guys.
Wow, yeah. So I see Ben Whitney. Thank you so much for joining, man. We really, really appreciate you. And then we see Devam Das.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. 3 minutes ago and then 26 minutes ago. I don't know if you guys can see.
That's insane. Love that.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, nice. David Jonathan. Okay, so David Jonathan is actually on the PWJ course, right? And he says, hey guys, I want to say that if you're still thinking about signing up for the PWJ course and haven't decided that, then you're missing. It's the best investment you can make on yourself in 2020. So like, guys, you heard it yourself. David Jonathan's an amazing student. I was actually chatting to him last week in our coaching call, and I'll be speaking to him right after this because we have a coaching call right after this session. So amazing stuff, David.
No breaks. Give it up for Sonny, guys. Thank you
No
so much.
breaks.
And guess what? We just broke the 1.2K likes.
Hey, let's go.
Thank you guys for being so active and
Nice.
always, following everything that we're doing, we're putting out for you guys. Really, really, really appreciate it.
Nice. That's awesome, dude. Exactly that. We really, really appreciate you guys. His Majesty said, joined about 30 minutes ago. Is that
Wow.
is that Ben? I'm wondering, is that Ben?
Oh. Yeah, I think that might be Ben Whitney then. In
Yeah.
that case. And then I see just now at this moment, Rashmita Khatri just joined.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, Rashmita. We appreciate you.
Nice. That's amazing, dude. This is awesome.
Part of the family now.
Yeah, exactly. Frank says this build is so clean, better than Netflix because of Axios. Awesome, dude. Glad you found that. Frank's another amazing student inside of the course. He's not actually even a student, guys. Frank is somebody who's been in the industry for like 10 years, and he's now a part of the PWJ community, and he's like upgrading his knowledge on React and his knowledge on JavaScript. So by joining PWJ, you're literally being surrounded by this community of like awesome developers. So this is great. Like,
and what's insane too was that Frank shared in a few live streams back. He said that he landed a 6-figure contract with Sonos as a consultant to build the radio station app. Wow, we were just mind blown, guys. Frank is an amazing student, amazing asset to our community, and people like him are people that are consuming this type of content and actually putting it in their portfolios. He said that he got that job from building the Spotify app, which is amazing, guys.
Nice.
So thank you guys so much. Keep at it, put in the work.
Yeah, honestly, when Frank dropped that news, I think like Kazi was up on his chair jumping with that Frankie. Yeah. I was over at this side, I was going crazy. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, like this guy, Frank made a 6-figure contract happen like with just by showing them the Spotify clone. So guys, like these projects have a lot of value. You can see that a lot of people sort of benefit from it. So if you do, all we ask is that you just smash the thumbs up button. That is it. That's all we ask, guys. Smash the thumbs up button. And if you haven't already, there is some kind of voting going on right now. I think it's Hacker Noon, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, but that would be awesome if you guys can vote for the channel, because that's crazy. Nice. Sohail's from...
I'll drop the link in the chat so you guys can go vote. It's this link right now in this moment.
Yeah.
So go in now, go vote, and then come back to the stream.
Yeah. That's it, guys. Literally, if you can, just go to that link right now in the description. Drop a vote for us. That would be amazing, and it would be awesome that like all of us can win that award together. That would be awesome. Sohail is somebody from the PWG team as well. He said, "Hey Sonny, I'm Sohail from PWJ. I want to tell you that you're awesome, bro. Thank you, dude, and I'll see you in the coaching course straight after this." That's awesome. Nice. Oh, dude, this has been amazing. Right, I think with that said, we are now at the point where we can deploy this thing, right? We can deploy this app,
man.
right?
My favorite part.
So guys, like if you guys are pumped for this, like let us know in the comments. Like now what we're going to do is the fun part. We're going to deploy this, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to deploy this with Firebase. So previously we set everything up on Firebase. We went over here, we created an account, and guys, beyond that, we don't actually need to do anything more with the Firebase panel. So like we literally just need to do that one step. What you do have to do though is run this command. So here, what you're going to have to do is you're going to say sudo npm install -g, saying globally, Firebase tools, right? And this will allow you to use the Firebase CLI. So you need to do this and put in a password. And basically, once that works, it'll go ahead and it will install the Firebase tools into your computer for you, right? Now, once you've done that, you need to go ahead and do Firebase login, right? And what that will do is, I didn't actually need to do this step. I already did this earlier, but it's fine. I just want to show you guys from like start to finish. You guys can see how we do it. There you go. So you see it says updated package. So I guess we did. So you can say Firebase login, and then it will actually go ahead. And I've already logged in. So it says already logged in. And I'm going to clear that quickly because I don't want to have my email up too long. Yeah, damn it. Please don't spam me, guys. Yeah. So now with that said, what we want to do is we're going to say Firebase init, right? And this initializes the Firebase like sort of app for our project. Then you get this really nice CLI, right? And if you make it big enough, you actually get this massive Firebase thing over here, which is cool. But now what we're going to do is we're going to use the arrow keys, go down to hosting, click enter, and then we're going to say use an existing project, right? And then we're going to scroll through, and we basically need to go through and find the one today, which is the Hulu YouTube clone, right? So I'm going to click on Hulu YouTube clone, do that. And then here's very important, guys. Yeah, so you want to make sure you type in build, okay? So build is extremely important. As you see, we've got build over here, right? So it says build, and make sure that you do not mess this bit up because this is very important for what you need to do next. So enter. Configure it as a single page app. So we're going to type in Y because every React app is a single page app. So we're going to do this. And then there you go, it's done, right? So once we've done that, now what we need to do is say npm run build, right? Now what this is going to do is, oops, what's happening here? So it says npm, this is no problem. Hulu Clone. Oh, damn it. Oh, damn it. What I ended up doing, I did a mistake that we did in earlier builds as well. Damn it. What I did is actually make sure you're CD'd inside the right directory, guys. So you make sure you're inside of the Hulu Clone. So to fix this, if this ever happens to you, to fix this.
I remember in the beginning, actually, somebody said that. It was a comment right in the beginning.
Really?
And I actually ignored it. Yep, somebody called it out in the beginning.
Yeah, it's a really, like, honestly, it's a good point, like, that they made, because what you have to do to fix this, then you get rid of this, you get rid of Firebase RC, get rid of the package lock, yeah, get rid of that, and then package JSON, in this case. What we're going to have to do now is we're going to have to go in here, and we have to say npm. Right, so we have a few dependencies that we installed. You see they're not actually in our project now because we weren't in the right directory. So we need to do a quick fix, and I'm just going to install everything. I'm going to say material UI icons, material UI core, axios, a few things that we need to install, and you'll see it will pop up in the dependencies over here. Right, so let's go ahead and do that. That's a silly mistake that we made, and we've done that before as well. Like, but it should be completely fine. While we're actually sort of fixing that, we can actually go ahead and answer some questions. So let's go ahead and see.
So Asan Yassin says, I'll watch every single stream you guys have made. I joined today and I shocked Sonny is explaining in detail. I loved it. Nice, man.
That's
beautiful.
Awesome,
so many people joining in today. Thank you guys. Let us know, guys, if you do end up joining Profit with JavaScript. We are pumped to have you. We always want to grow this community. It's insane.
Yeah.
And thank you so much.
100%, guys. It's huge when you join. Let me try npm axios. What else did we install? MPI flip move. So.
And you know, guys, we're having these mistakes ourselves so that you don't have to go through them. So you know, the best way to learn is really learning from your mistakes. And even a better way to learn is learning from other people's mistakes, you know?
Exactly.
So you're going to want to do that.
Yeah, and guys, this is just proof that like even if you've been developing for ages, small mistakes big mistakes happen, small mistakes happen. It's completely natural, and I actually like it when like a mistake happens on a live, because I think it gives people the sort of like it crushes that misconception of like everything's perfect when they're coding. Like, trust me, guys.
Exactly.
Yeah, it always, this stuff happens. Like, it does happen.
It's a messy road.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see if we've got any more dependencies. So we've got requests. We've done. Oh, god damn it. Okay, that's fine. We've got this one. Here we've got flip move. Axios we did.
Mahmoud Farargi asks, please tell us again how to get an API key from TMDB. We show that multiple times in the beginning of the video and then in the middle of the video as well.
Yeah.
There's going to be, in the settings, there's an API menu. So check that out. It's really simple.
Just right here, guys. So this setting right here inside of your TMDB dashboard, just make sure you go into your settings, go here and click it, and you'll be able to generate a key. And that's it. Nice. So with that said, I think now we're good. I think we're good now. So now what we can do is we can go back and we can basically pretend none of this happened. We can say npm. We can do firebase init one more time. So firebase init. There we go. And make sure you're in the right folder. So we're going to go back to hosting and we say use an existing project. We go down to Hulu YouTube clone. We say build. Here we say yes for a single page app. Boom, it's done. Now we say npm run build and we do this. And then it says, okay, like now it's creating an optimized production build. So npm run build is essentially what it's going to do is it's going to strip out all the non-developer tools, right? So like all the developer stuff gets thrown out, like, because we want to make a very streamlined build, because when your website's up on the internet, you don't want it to be super heavy, you don't want it to be super clunky. So all these extra things, like when I save the file and it hot reloads, we don't need that in the actual live build. We just need it to be lightweight. So what it does is it strips everything out and it pushes everything into this build folder, which is why when we did Firebase init, we specified it goes into the build folder, right? So this shouldn't take too long. In the meantime, let's go have a look and see.
Somebody asks, is it possible to use Firebase and WordPress?
I'm not sure. I don't know, because I haven't used too much of WordPress, but Firebase is a very flexible platform, so definitely go and check. And the docs are so good. The docs are really good. So if you have that question, go ahead and check it out, and I'm sure it would. That's
a great question. Yeah, if you guys find that out, drop it in the comments below so that we can all know.
Yep. So here, what we're going to do is, once it's done, all we need to do, guys, to deploy this thing is say Firebase deploy. So if you're excited, drop smash that thumbs up button, and also, guys, pull out your phones and tag me and Frankie right here if you're watching this video, whether it's a replay or you're watching it right now, and tag us on Instagram and shoot a story when we deploy it. Go onto the website yourself and shoot a story for us, and it's really nice to see that we can see that you watched it, you stuck with us, and yeah, we always love that. So Firebase deploy.
Tag us, guys. Let's go.
All right, should we do it, Frankie? Should I hit enter on this?
Let's do it, man. I think they're ready.
Yeah, let's do it, dude. So I hit enter, and that's it. Let's go. Let's see. Let's count it down. I think it's going to be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey! There we go.
Baby.
Nice. So go ahead and go over to this link, guys, and you'll be able to actually go ahead and check out. I'm going to drop it in the comment section as well. There you go. Go ahead and check out the app, guys, and you can pretty much play around with it, see it for yourself. And yeah, like you can see that the app should be up and running. You can click on the different things and it will go ahead and it should be working as expected. Mess around with the hover functionality.
Finalized app.
Yep, let's show it on ours. Yep, so let's go ahead and let's actually go to the live version. So you can see how fast that was, guys. Like if I go ahead and open it up again, like boom, look how quick that is. It's insane. Like, wow. Yeah, and you see, like, even when we did so clean, like, and everything works super nice. And guys, the amazing thing is this is going to be on your portfolio, so like you can go ahead and show someone this, and I think it's a really nice showpiece on your portfolio. Like it will be a really awesome thing to show. You can show a bunch of different things. You can show responsive design, you can show API usage, you can show that you can build things in ES6 fashion with React hooks and do everything in a modern way. Yeah, so I can see a lot of people are going crazy in the comments. That's awesome. See, Puniam says, great, Sunny. Sunday says, hey, Sunny, good to be here. Mohammed says, good job, guys. Comedia says, I just joined for the first time. Thank you. So thank you for being here, dude. I appreciate that.
Let's go. This is amazing, man. This build makes me want to watch movies because they look so beautiful.
Yeah, insane. Insane. Dude,
Thank you guys so much. If you guys are finding this very useful for you, go to the description below. Check out our free 1-hour training to become a JavaScript developer. I think if you guys got value from this, you're gonna get value from that as well. And stay tuned for the other lives as well. We're gonna be going live tomorrow. Sunny and Kazi are gonna go live, and they're gonna build Airbnb clone. So that's an amazing build. I know that a lot of boot camps actually use that as their final project. I heard Death Mountain used to use that as a final project. Airbnb clones. So
yeah,
I mean, that's a great tool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Give me one sec. Okay. Yeah. I think, guys, yeah, like if you're interested, then definitely tomorrow be sure to set a reminder on your phone. We go live. I'm not sure what time it is in American time, but I think it's 6:30 BST, 6:30 p.m. BST, and that turns out to be what time?
That would be about 10:30, 10:15
yeah.
PST.
Yeah.
Pacific time.
Exactly. So we'll be going live again tomorrow and the day after. So awesome stuff. Yeah. Like if you guys enjoyed that, let us know. I think what we do now, Frankie, any last minute things to say?
As of now, man, I love this build. It's insane, guys. Just putting in, well, how long was this? This was 2 hours and 34 minutes. If you guys can make and follow this build in 2 hours and 34 minutes, guys, you guys can literally change your life, change your opportunities, and actually get a job from this. So, you know, there's so many ways that you can even spice up this project. You can add a little bit more functionality to the first header that we have. And yeah, make it interesting. Play around with the code. Like we said, if we find, we're going to discuss about this, but if we find it useful to drop the actual GitHub repo link for you guys, it'll be in the description below. But honestly, guys, don't be lazy. You know, follow the project. Sonny does a great job at explaining everything, and you're going to get tons of value from this.
Exactly, guys. Make sure you definitely do like follow along with it, because honestly, copying something, you're not going to like, just think of yourself, you're cheating yourself. Like you're going to be cheating yourself. Like going ahead, and even if you don't fully understand what you're sort of coding when you follow along with these tutorials, trust me, do it so many times. Like do it enough times, and that pattern recognition will kick in, and you'll start to see the patterns. You'll start to see what state props, all these, what is a hook. You'll start to see it. It will really, really be good.
Dragon breath.
Is it too loud? Oh, damn it!
I didn't even notice it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The gain is too high, I think. Nice.
Somebody even asked, did you use backend for this? And guys, we used Firebase for this, and the reason why you guys maybe didn't even notice if you're not paying that much attention is because it's so easy to implement. We touch on it on the beginning, we touch on it at the end, but pretty much by setting it up in the beginning, it took us, what, Sonny, about 1 to 2 minutes, literally. And from there, you have a full-on functionality with backend using Firebase.
Yeah, sorry. It cracked me up so much. I didn't realize I was kind of leaning against the mic.
Yeah,
Oh, man,
actually.
that's so funny.
Oh, wow, and we got a last donation
Hey.
from Funwit Sanchi. Thank you so much, man. 40 Indian rupees. Appreciate your donation. Right now, guys, we are at 1274 likes. So 1,274 likes. That's insane. And our chat donations reached the $100 mark. So thank you guys so much for that.
Yeah, honestly, insane support today, guys. And yeah, like we said, make sure if you are interested, you found value from this, then be here for tomorrow's live build. Today we built the Hulu app completely deployed on Firebase. And like Frankie mentioned before, we have a free training. Link is in the description. Be sure to check it out. And yeah, that's awesome, dude. Oh, that was fun.
Thank you guys so much. Now go on and build it. Let's go.
Exactly. Go ahead, build that app, and tag us in the stories, in the tags like we've dropped here. And yeah, I think with that said, Frankie, I think that's an awesome place to wrap this video up. What you say?
I think that's a wrap, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful wrap.
Yeah, that's it, dude. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Peace.
Peace. Bye-bye.
Bye.